How mean is that? You know, it's funny. Bill Gore goes, I haven't seen him in 18 years. He has no idea. I just took his head off in a fucking ballroom before Murph and the Magic Tones come on. And until then, don't go change it.
Schmitty Comes Alive. Available only on the Joe Business page at MikeSchmidtComedy.com.
Oh, yeah. I am awake and alive and alive. I'm so great, I gotta say it twice and cut it out once. My head's a syrup bottle that's getting tipped over every Wednesday. You're a storyteller in a storytelling podcast, and the only story you're telling now is a story about stories you don't want to tell. What the fuck? Hey, what's happening? Mike Schmidt, 40-year-old boy podcast, folks. I'm gonna pass out from yawning. I'm just warning you that right now. We've been sitting here in Lily's house for about 45 minutes, and I've been waiting to start this thing, and I can't. This is the I'm standing at the base of Mount Everest, and I'm staring up. This show is Mount Everest. That is adding way too much import to this show, folks. That is a lot of weight to put on this show's shoulders. That is a big yoke to put on the oxen that is towing this show throughout the field and tilling and waiting for me to plant some crops that will grow into fruitful jokes. Are fruits a crop, right? Fruits are crops. Whenever I hear crops, I think of vegetables or corn. But fruits are, because I think of fruit is in an orchard. But I guess you had to plow that orchard and plant it, and then it was a crop, right? Any farmers out there? Farmer Ryan who runs my website. Maybe I should ask him, who I will ask him to do something on my website. And he's like, hey, can I call you at 3 a.m? And literally there's only 2 people in the world who could have that conversation, and it would be feasible to ask. And then the other guy would say yes. And it's me and any farmer in the world. So I guess that's really 2 people. There's 2 people that I know in my circle of people. People who are in my circle of people. I'm gonna die here, folks. It is all right. Let's set the scene here, because as you hear this, I am on a plane. Or I'm not on a plane. I'm on the ground. I have boots on the ground in Chicago, folks. As you hear this, I'm in Chicago, Illinois. But we had to record this early in the week, and by early in the week, I mean late last week. That's how. It is Sunday. It is fucking Sunday, and I'm sitting in Lily's house here at noon. It was noon when I got here. Now it's like 3, because I can't talk, because I just talked. I just talked to you people, and now I got to come and talk to you again. And I had this all penciled out, because again, I knew I was traveling and heading to Chicago. So in my head, about a month ago when I was booking this trip, I'm like, well, you know what? I can just put a clip show in that week, the week that I'm not going to be here. And unfortunately, the death flu invaded Lily's house and forced us to do a clip show 2 weeks ago. So that yanked the rug out from under my clip show idea this week. And I said to Lily, this is your fault that I'm here, because I'm sitting here bitching because I can't. It's not that I don't want to do the show. Of course I want to do the show, but I just talked to you people, for fuck's sake. I did 3 hours on Wednesday, almost 3, 2.5, 250, I don't know, 245. I don't know. It ended with a sad story about a bird. That's all I remember about Wednesday. And now I'm here, and I'm talking again on a Sunday, and it's Sunday afternoon. It's not even like Sunday, because normally I'll get here at like 3 in the afternoon. Well, I had to be here at noon because Lily's got Sunday bullshit. She goes to church every Sunday. We all know that. She got to go to church later tonight. She's going to mass. And then she always goes and volunteers at the homeless shelter and makes a ham. Every Sunday, Lily bakes a ham for the hobos. She makes hobo ham. That's actually a special recipe, hobo ham, that you have to cook it in a garbage can. And actually, no, you know how you make hobo ham? You light a bunch of newspapers on fire and just throw a ham in it and hope for the best. And you can eat ham cold. What's wrong with these hobos? Quit heating up the ham, goddamn, and eat the cold ham. You don't even deserve heated food. You're a hobo. Oh, that's mean, right? I can't be mean to hobos. Yeah, I can. I'm always mean to hobos. I'm not mean to them. Oh, fuck. I almost got into a fight with a hobo. Did I tell you that story? Holy shit. I go to my, all right, here's the thing, folks. I have a P.O. box, which you can reach me at if you want to send me gifts. Or ham. Send me ham at the P.O. box. Um, God, there's nothing better than parcel ham. Oh, my God. Oh. If you like ham now, wait till you have to sign for it. Oh, that adds a level of flavor you've never experienced or thought of. Man, if you've got to put your name on a piece of paper to claim that ham, woohoo! That's some serious ham. And we all know me that I don't like hot ham, right? So I'm, you know what? In my heart, I'm a hobo. That's where it cuts to. Because hobos, I say that they shouldn't heat it up. I say they should eat cold ham. That means I'm reaching out to them. I want the hobos to be like me. I want to be like the hobo. I want to have a hobo mind meld. Well, that'll suck, and then I'll be screaming like Ron Kovic in a goddamn wheelchair. I can't be doing that. All right, so. Because I figure all hobos have night terrors. They must, right? Every hobo in the world must have night terrors. They must. Because at night, finally, they're just, the only warmth they get is from their own pockets, for fuck's sake. They're in the middle of the street. Well, they're not in the middle of the street. They're not zombies. They're hobos. They find cubby holes. They're like, they find a doorway to sleep in. Why this show took a hobo turn? All right. Not to be confused with the hobo tang, folks. All right, so. Lily just left. Folks, I walked to this room.
Wow.
So where was I? Talking about hobos and ham. So I go to the post office. Here's the thing, folks. I don't want to be mad at people or upset or get ensnared in their web of rage. Because I'm a nice guy. I'm an easygoing guy. I just float through life. I don't want any bad things to happen to anyone. I take care of my life, and you take care of yours, and everything will be fine. Never the twain shall meet, or never the twain shall punch each other in the face. I go to my P.O. box. There's a post office by my house. And we've all heard about my adventures at this post office before. I pounded on a door, made a guy come outside, and a woman said, "Oh, dear Lord," as I was walking outside. We all know these stories. Well, this time, folks, I don't even get in the fucking building. I don't even get in the goddamn building before the shit hits the fan. I'm walking out of my car, and there's a meter. And so I have to fish a quarter out of my pocket. I wanted to go with a dime or a nickel, but I didn't know how long I'd be in there, so I threw a quarter in because sometimes the line is long. Oh, and also, by the way, I have a P.O. box. Hey, Tina Arminson, stop getting your mail in my fucking P.O. box. I don't know who you are, but you need to stop. And another dude started this week. I start going to the P.O. box, and I open it up, and there's a shit ton of mail and a couple of, claim checks. I'm like, this is awesome. And I pull it all out. Fucking Tina Arminson and some other dude with an Indian name. And I'm looking at it, I don't know who this is. So I go to the counter, I go, hey, these aren't me. And they said, oh, well, who are they? I don't know. And they go, well, are you getting somebody else's mail in your box? I said, yes. They go, well, if you authorize it. I go, no, I didn't authorize getting mail in the box. It's just in the box. Take it. And they were like, oh, okay. They scooped it up. And they took it in the back, and then they burned it, which they do with all mail that is unclaimed. They immediately take it in the bag and have a mail bonfire. And then what do? I think we all know. They throw a ham in it. All right, so... Why ham? I hate ham, but I guess ham is a funny word, and that's why it's stuck in my head. And it's one syllable. You can just crank out one syllable. You don't have to. I don't want to say turkey. Look how much time that took. See, ham done. One syllable. Everybody's happy. You know who's very happy? The National Ham Council. Oh, this is like an unpaid commercial for them. Why wouldn't they give me some money? Send me some money, ham. I like that ham is just a company. Ham, that's their name. Send me some money, ham. What movies? There was a show with a guy named Ham. What was it? There was a dude, his name was Ham, but it's probably short for Hamable. Haha. No. Hey, Ham. You looking it up?
Yeah.
A guy named Ham? Just Google a guy named Ham. Actually, that was it. It was a Sergio Leone Western called A Guy Named Ham. It was about the meanest deli owner in Spain. And there was and then he threw a lasso around a guy. Oh, no, a tasso. He threw a tasso around a guy. Ha! It all comes back to ham. No, you know who I'm thinking of? Hammy from the Pee Wee Herman show. Do you remember the Pee Wee Herman show?
Yes.
There was a guy named Hammy in it. In the old one. It was played by the guy from fucking the Cruzados. Or from, what band was he in? He's the dude from, he's in Desperado at the end. He's in the Dead Person band. It's not the Cruzados. Who's the famous fucking band? God damn it. Tito and Tarantula. There you go. It's the guy from Tito and Tarantula. He was in the original Pee Wee Herman show, the one that had Phil Hartman from the 80s, 90s maybe. I don't know. But then we saw you and I actually went and saw the recreation of that show.
Yeah.
You know who was not in that? Hammy. Because even Pee Wee went, fuck Ham. And plus, Tito was on the road. Probably Tito was. Tito was actually playing a deli in Spain. He was playing. Oh, that mean deli owner. I hope he paid Tito or Hammy. So, folks, I go to the post office, and before all this other stuff happens, I'm outside, and I have to bet a quarter, and I put it in the meter, and I go to walk inside. And I should tell you this. This was a couple of weeks ago, and it was on a day that I had gotten some particularly bad news. Financially and otherwise. But it was not a good day. And so I'm like, oh, well, fuck it. So I went out and I had to stop at the grocery store. And then I had to go to the post office. And I get out and I put a quarter in the meter. And I go to walk in. And outside of my post office, it's fucking awful. It is a vaudeville show. Like every single time you go there, there's some new act. Like to the point where I think somebody is actually booking the front of my post office and going to homeless shelters just to find if anybody has some ridiculous talent. Hey, can you dance? Well, go stand outside with a hat. I mean, it's just that fucking bad. It's as if you stumbled into an old. You ever see a movie? And they have an old movie where they show the inside of an audition room or an agent's office. Remember that? Okay, like now when you get an agent, it's really hard. You got to submit and all that stuff. Remember in the old days, or at least it portrayed in the movies in the old days, when you'd walk into an agent's office and there'd be like an organ grinder with a monkey and a magician and a knife thrower and a burlesque idiot and everybody else is in this room and they're waiting to see the agent as if the agent was there having an open call looking for horrible acts. So right now, that is every homeless shelter in Southern California, and then some guy goes in there and he finds whatever knife thrower or fire eater or bullshit that he can go ahead and throw in front of my post office with a cardboard box at their feet. Some idiot with a mandolin with one string. And that's not even a joke. That has happened. There's been a guy in front of my fucking post office with a mandolin with one string. And I don't know if that's supposed to play on my sympathies or supposed to show off what a great mandolin player he is. I have no idea because you know what I do? I run. I fucking run. The only exercise I get in my life is running away from shitty entertainers at my post office. Because I get out of the car, I have to get to the meter and put some money in really quick and then fucking fly past them before they give me the sad eyes as they squeeze their accordion and cry. Enough. Good Lord. Book yourself. There's enough open mics in this fucking town that you can get off the street. Although I guess in Southern California, literally the street is open mic night. That's all it is. It's just every busker, every idiot, everyone's got a show. Every hobo's got a joke. I got a sign. I need money for beer. He. Give me some cash. Fuck you. Fuck you. You know why? Because you really do need this money for beer. And I don't give a fuck about your honesty. I'm not giving it to you. You know what? Maybe if I buy you a beer, I'll bring you in for a beer, but I can't anymore. You know what? Because my life is financially falling apart too. I don't even have the marker for the sign, motherfucker. So that's why I'm not joining you out here and competing. I guess it's good to know that if shit hits the fan, completely bottoms out, I've always got my post office to hang out in front of and try to make some cash. Actually, well, I should do that just because I want to see if there's some sort of weird hobo union that'll show up and go, hey, this is our corner. You need to go ahead and go to another corner. What? Are you kidding? So I get out of my car, I throw a quarter in the meter, and there's a dude out there, not the mandolin guy. It's somebody new this week. This is just a guy who's sitting there, and this is not a joke. He's talking to another guy. He's talking about math. And he's talking about numbers, and not a beautiful mind shit, but he's just continuously talking about numbers and adding and dividing. And because I caught a snippet of it as I'm walking in, I put my money in the meter, I go to walk by him, and this guy actually, because a lot of times they're just standing in one spot and they'll say something to you. Well, this guy's sitting on the steps, so you have to deal with him. You can't. There's no way around him. If you're going upstairs, you've got to walk past him. And he's talking to another person who I may or may not have been another hobo, or maybe just a crazy person who had an afternoon to kill and wanted to talk about math with a hobo. Because I think we've all been in that situation, right? It's a Wednesday, you're bored, you're in your house, you're like, I'm going to go talk about math with a hobo. I need to find if some fucking bum knows what a cosine is of 8. All right. I want to go discuss the concept of infinity with a guy wearing 2 different shoes. So, because they're just having a math chat on the fucking steps of a government institution. This is what the world has come to. It's falling apart, folks. Everything's going to hell. There's just a bored guy and a common street tramp having a conversation about integers right out in the open, folks. Take that shit behind closed doors. Nobody wants to hear it. I'm sure that the fucking homeless shelter has a math closet you guys can go and have this chat in. But no, you got to fucking bring everybody else down into your world of numbers. And like the numbers mean anything to a homeless guy. All right. This show should just be called The Never-Ending War on the Homeless. That's what it should be called, because that's all I do is I bitch about these people. But here's why. Again, it was a tough day for me, which is fine. We all have tough days. And granted, my toughest day is not as tough as the guy who sleeps in the dirt. All right, I understand. His easiest day is worse than my toughest day at all times. I get that because that guy's wearing somebody else's underwear. We're aware of that, right, folks? Because you know that they have an underwear bin at the homeless shelter, and that dude just wakes up freeballing because somebody stole his underwear in the night, because that happens all the time. You wonder where the underpants gnomes got their start? It was at the homeless shelter because there were so many underpants there for them to steal. And now there's a box of underpants. You know there is. Go to a homeless shelter and just go, hey, can I see the box of underpants? They won't even blink. They'll pull it out. They'll just whip it out right there, and you'll have to fish through a whole pile of fucking unidentified Fruit of the Looms and grab your size and leave. Oh, man. It's like, don't ever trick or treat at the homeless shelter. Oh, it's just...
Oh, my God.
You are going to wind up with a bag full of hobo briefs. I should go to a homeless shelter once. I should just, not to volunteer, like to live. Like I should go in there and visit. It'll be, like Black Like Me, it'll be Poor Like Me. And I'll just go undercover and I'll try to find out exactly how they live. Because what if I exposed some ring, like a homeless ring of change stealers? Oh my God. What if they're getting your change and they're not, because everybody's like, oh, this is totally a racket. Like these guys totally get their money. And because it's funny, you know who thinks it's a racket? Karen. My wife thinks it's a racket because, we have this buzzing, never-ending hive of homeless on Jazzies near my bank. Look, if you own an institution, just get a cattle prod and chase these people off of your fucking steps.
Oh, my God.
You're frightening your customers. You're letting these people sit outside. There are homeless people in like wheelchairs and Jazzies because there's a group home by my house. It's near the 7-Eleven. And so the 7-Eleven and the B of A are just prime targets for these people to roll up with their sadness and try to grift you for $1 or change. So I went to the ATM yesterday, and there was this dude, and you know who he looked like? He looked like Jose Feliciano, but in like a Jazzy and with no neck. Like he was all fucked up. He was one of those dudes. I mean, and look, I feel bad for these fucked up dudes, and I wish I could help them, but unfortunately right now I'm in no position to help myself. Not that I'd be just handing these guys hundreds of dollars, because that seems wrong too, right? I mean, look, this guy's certainly not going to buy a neck. I mean, I'm not going to help him out. He's just rooted to this fucking chair, and he's begging outside of the B of A, which I guess is a good place because you know what that is? That's the money store. People are going in there to buy cash. Why would you ever go to 7-Eleven when there was a bank a block away? But here, this is the thing, they are covering all of them. There's people on Jazzies, just this rolling patrol in front of the fucking 7-Eleven, and there's this heavy, big girl. I mean, just not even a girl. She's past girldom. And she's not even in womanhood. She's a blob. I don't think she has no gender. She's just genderless. She's a pile of flesh in a chair. It's just a pile of flesh and sadness, and she's just there trying to grift you out of a buck. So, but we see her at the 7-Eleven, and we go to the B of A, and I go to get out and go to the bank, and Karen's like, don't even look at him. And I said, well, I'll say what I always say. And then he said something, and I told him it was very nice I couldn't help him today. And I get in my car, and Karen's like, they're part of a racket. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, they're like a circuit. I'm like, all right, hold on. What do you mean a circuit? She said, well, they are all in that group home down there. She goes, and here's what happened. The other day I was driving, and I saw them. They were all outside together talking. I said, well, what does that mean? She goes, they were making a plan. I said, what do you mean a plan? She goes, well, no, I think what they do is they all beg at certain places, and then they pull their money at the end of the day. And I understand that, and it does seem like kind of a racket, but at the same time, I mean, so what? I don't, go ahead. That's, for them, that's their job. And maybe they're all a team and they organize themselves. They could be like the guys in Glengarry Glen Ross, but just like crippled. You know what I mean? I'm serious. Jazzies are for closers. So if you see some guy limping, you know that he was not a good salesman. You only get the cushy fucking Jazzy if you're bringing in the cash. First prize Cadillac Jazzy. Second prize set of catheters. Third prize, you're fired. put that spit cup down. What's my name? Fuck you, Gimpy. That's my name. Oh, yeah. All right, so it's an episode of Glengarry Spin Ross. This one wheel locks up on the Jazzy. They just go in circles. You feel bad. Give him a buck. It's a grift. It's a grift. Don't fall for the spinning Jazzy. Don't fall for the one locked wheel.
Oh my god.
So, folks, so Karen thinks it's a racket, and I'm on board with that sort of, but at the same time, I don't care if it's a racket. Good for them. I refuse to be touched by it. But if they can grift all they want. Take whatever they, because I mean, look, they can't break into homes. I mean, look at them. They're in Jazzies.
Oh my god.
They should do that though. They should team up and have just like an army of Jazzies, like 14 of them. Then they just storm an apartment building like zombies. That'd be fucking brilliant. All right. I should be king of the hobos. I mean, I think if we've established anything at this point, I have so many great ideas for the hobos. I could totally get them on board and we could all make this money. I would be the king. I would be the fucking Alec Baldwin of the hobos. You see this watch? This watch cost more than all your Jazzies put together. You think I'm fucking with you? I am not fucking with you. I am from downtown. I am from Mitch and Murray, and I am here on a mission of mercy. The leads are weak. The leads are fucking weak. You're weak. Customers go in and out of that 7-Eleven and in and out of that bank every fucking day. You can hear the change jingling in their pocket from here. This is my destiny, folks. Why can't I rally the hobos to be like my personal army? That'd be perfect. And that's what it's coming to. You know what it is? And that's what all of America is anyway. The 1% gets the 99% to fucking fight one another and trick one another into giving each other money and screw up. And then the 1% benefits. Why can't I be the 1%? Even if I'm the 1% of hobos, I'm still the 1% of something.
Oh my god.
I need a ragtag hobo army to take over this fucking city. All right. So... Well, see, it would be a good idea, except for the fact that I don't like the hobos at all. I don't get along with them. Well, they're not like Alec Baldwin like those guys. All right, fuck. It's a pipe dream. It's a pipe dream, folks, but it's my dream. So I'm at the post office, and I take my quarter out. I put it in the meter, and this guy's on the steps, as I've mentioned, and he's got a dude talking to him. They're just having a discussion. And it's more like the homeless guy is just holding court. And so, again, it made me wonder if that other dude, he was bored or he was an author learning about fucking homeless people. I don't know. He may have just been observing him in his natural habitat to go back and report to Diane Fossey. I looked around to see if Diane Fossey was there with a camera. Is it Diane Fossey?
No, it was Gorillas in the Mist with Diane. Shit. Who was it?
I don't know.
Gorillas in the Mist.
Who's Diane Fossey? She actually did an all chimpanzee version of All That Jazz. Oh my Christ. It was not good. All right, good. Yeah, thank you. All right. You scared me because you made like a cross-eyed look at me and then you're like, nah, it's not Diane Fossey. Because Fossey doesn't sound right because again, it sounds like and all those chimps. All right, so really? That one got you? Oh, okay. So you are really?
Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And all those chimps. See, these are great ideas. Why am I wasting them on you folks on a Sunday afternoon? I could first of all, I could Glengarry Glen Ross all of the homeless people, and then I could put together an all chimpanzee version of All That Jazz. Why am I doing this? I'm talking to you guys about it. I look at these ideas that are just slipping into the ether, and you know someone's going to steal them. You know someone's going to act on them.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't think so, but eventually you're going to go out somewhere, and you know what you'll do? You'll go into a bank, and then you'll walk out, and then it'll just be like 80 Jazzies just staring at you, and you'll realize that the revolution has begun. Remember that scene in The Birds where Tippi Hedren walks outside and it's fucking so quiet and there's nothing but birds everywhere? It's going to be like that with homeless guys. Actually, you know what? They have that already. It's called San Diego. Oh my Christ. If fucking California was a Chuck E. Cheese, San Diego would be the ball pit and each ball would indicate a homeless person. It's just death. So I go to pay. I pay the quarter. What was I was talking about something else, wasn't I? All right, so that's now stuck in my head. Like I can't even. Someone's gonna do it. They're gonna run with that. It's gonna be amazing. It'll be. I can only hope it's somewhere close to as good as the fucking Simpsons Planet of the Apes musical. Dr. Zayas, Dr. Zayas. The Simpsons are geniuses. So fucking brilliant. From chimpan A to chimpanzee. God damn it. Simpsons. You forget about the Simpsons. You know why? Because we take them for granted. They've been around for so long and they're on all the time. To the point where, because now they're on as many times as like the Flintstones. You know what I mean? It used to be when I was a kid, like the Flintstones would be on somewhere in the world. I actually did a joke about it on stage, and that will date me. That'll tell you how old my act was a million years ago. When I first started out, it was a joke about how anytime you turn on TV anywhere in the world, you could find the Flintstones. Well, now it's the Simpsons. So now we take them for granted because you're just like, the Simpsons are on, but you don't realize the brilliance. I was so furious because again, as you know, folks, I have no cash. So, but inevitably I'll tell you a story about how I did something stupid with cash, and then you go, I thought you didn't have any cash. Again, I'm stupid. But Amazon.com just had seasons 1 through 10 of The Simpsons, and they were $6 a piece or something like that. So it was like, it was $60 for the first, come on, the first 10 that's genius. It's just unrelenting plastic filled genius, or genius filled plastic, right? I don't know. Simpsons. So I get out of the car. I just want to say, I say Simpsons like fucking Paula Tompkins says Cake Boss says Cake Boss. Cake Boss. Then looks around. Cake Boys. All right. So I'm at the post office, folks. And none of my rallying the homeless plans have come to fruition, so I'm still in that tentative relationship with them where I try to make eye contact and be nice but continue on my way. So I get out of my car, I put a quarter in the meter. How many times have I gotten out of my car in this story so far? Jesus Christ. I get out of the car, I put a quarter in the meter, and I go to walk, and they're having this chat on the stairs, so you have to deal with them. They're in the middle of the steps of the post office. And look, there are a bunch of other steps. All right, you don't have to walk right up the center section. So I did not. I walked up the right section, but it doesn't matter. They're still right there. They're by the door. So the point is, as you go toward the door, you have to see them. They get to see you. Because they could have been on the other, like the far opposite end. Because sometimes when I get there, and there's the all hobo version of Our Town, they're all lined up. They're doing the play on the grassy part of the front, so you don't have to deal with them. It's just like walking past those living statues that you see that are all silver and they're not moving. And by the way, it's look, good for you, living statues. Make as much money as you can if that's what you can do, because I can't do what you do. Just like you can't do what I do, living statues, or else you wouldn't have to paint yourself silver and stand in the heat. But living statue has to find a new way to get home. That's the rule. Because the other day I was in Hollywood, and we always talk about how you see Superman on an escalator or that bullshit. I saw a living statue walking. It's like, dude, you're living statue. You need someone, even if it's just a third of your pay for the day, you got to cut a dude in to show up with a dolly and put you on it and wheel you the fuck out, right? Doesn't that make sense? If you're a human statue, go the extra mile. And get like your brother to come. He drops you off because I've never seen human statue arrive. Okay, I always just show up and human statue is there, and that's a drag because there's so many other dudes. There's the fake Tom Cruise there, and there's like Superman, and then there's a fat Spider-Man and a Ninja Turtle. And that's the worst too, is when the people wear the costumes that are completely outdated, and you're like, what are you doing? You're not. I don't get it. But yeah, human statue, I've never seen them arrive, but I saw them leave, and it blew everything. It like changed the whole game. So dude, if you're human statue, you got to show up in a van, and a dude unpacks you and puts you on the street, and then you stand there as human statue all day, and then he shows up later with a hand truck, and he puts you on it, and he puts you in the back of the van. That's fucking awesome, right? Another idea. Run with it. Go ahead and run with it. So far, folks, we have the Alec Baldwin of the homeless, rallying them and then getting together and making all the money, skimming off. We have the All That Chimps version of All That Jazz, the all monkey version. And now we have human statue with a hand truck. This is fucking gorgeous. I am spitting pearls of wisdom. Mother Mary comes to me. Oh, let it be. All right, so, folks, I get out of my car. I put a quarter in the meter. And my head's on a swivel because, again, you never know if a guy with a banjo is going to leap out of the bushes and ask for a dime. Because I live in rural Georgia. I mean, this is just when you see, because there are so many homeless by me. I imagine it's what it must have been like. Oh, whatever the fuck. I talk about homeless too much, but I have to tell you because this happened. So I walked out and I get out of the car and I put a quarter in the meter. Fucking stop it. And I go to walk in and these guys are on the center steps having their math chat. And as I get closer, there's a homeless dude and he, as I'm walking to the steps, he goes to stand up. Because he's sitting down on the steps. The other dude is standing up. And the bored guy has his back to me. The homeless guy sees me coming. I walk up the right-hand steps. And as I'm getting to the top, the guy makes eye contact with me. The homeless guy looks at me and he says, hey, can I get a little help today? And I looked at him and I try to be nice. Like I said, I make eye contact. So I look at him and I go, oh man, I'm sorry. I can't help you today. Good luck. And as I was saying that, he was standing up. All right. So he was reaching a standing position as I was approaching. So I don't know if he needed to be standing up to put the touch on me or what. I don't know if he just, he's happier standing up when he puts the arm on someone. I got no clue. And if you do not think that I repeated myself there just to say put the arm on someone and put the touch on someone, you are crazy. I want to bring as much old-timey lingo back as I can. Guy put the arm on me. Love it. All right, so he's standing up as I'm approaching, and I go, I'm sorry, I can't help you today. Good luck. And now he's at a full standing position. The only thing separating he and I is a banister. And so I'm standing up, and I'm going to walk in, and I just figure, again, I've exchanged pleasantries, and I've told you very nicely that I cannot help you. So please enjoy your long conversation about algebra. And he now stands up, and as I'm walking, I go, I can't help you today. Sorry, good luck to you. And he looks at me, and he goes, I don't need your fucking help. And I had already told you this is not a good day for me, as it was, because I had some bad news delivered earlier in the day. And so, again, as we all know, when those people get crazy or they act up, it's best to just walk away and leave them to their own devices because you're not going to out crazy a crazy dude on the steps of a post office. Unless you're me. And you've already had a horrible day, and you don't need a fucking homeless guy bitching at you because you won't give him a goddamn fucking nickel. So he stood up, and he's now eye to eye with me, and there's the banister between us. And he goes, I don't need your fucking help. And it's funny, in the Three Stooges, there used to be a thing where they do Niagara Falls. Bless you. And this guy, it was this one episode, and this guy said Niagara Falls, and the Three Stooges would stop, and they'd turn their heads, and they'd go, slowly I turned, step by step, inch by inch, and then they beat the shit out of one another because they're the Three Stooges. Or they beat the shit out of another guy. But it was as if this guy had said Niagara Falls to me because I froze. I was so... Because I don't like dealing with that anyway. And look, we all feel bad that we can't take you home and bathe you. I mean, we feel awful about it. Well, that seems strong. But I mean, I wish I could give you milk money. I wish I could give you $1 or $20. I wish I could buy... I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to buy a hobo a Coke and keep him company, but I can't do it, unfortunately. And especially that day, I had received horrible news. And I'm right now, money is this, but I'm not going to sit down with my fucking ledger and tell the hobo why I couldn't give him money. So instead, he stands up and he goes, I don't need your fucking help. And I froze. And I could have just gone into the post office. I know I could have. I was walking. I'm ambulatory. I'm a biped. I was moving. I was putting one foot in front of the other. And soon I'd be moving right across the floor. I could have put one foot in front of the other, and soon I'd have been heading right through the post office door. But instead, I stopped because I'm not smart. And I fucking turned around, and I did like a slow burn turn, and I looked at him. And I just went, hey, fuck you. And I guess he's used to scaring people by being surly and mean, and people just kind of hustle away and they run away. I don't know if he was expecting 6'2", 330-pound dude to just stop and wheel on him, because he immediately like shrunk, like he was still standing up, but he got all quiet. And I'm gonna go, fuck you. I go, I don't have any money for you. I just told you, good luck. Go help yourself. Get off the fucking steps. But I'm sorry, I can't help you. And he felt threatened, but he didn't want to shrink. But this is the dumbest response ever. He looks at me and he goes, "You had money for the meter." And
Oh my god!
my favorite part of this whole exchange is, I'm mad. I'm saying fuck you, and I just told you good luck, whatever the fuck. And he says, "You had money for the meter." And the bored guy, who was having a math chat with this guy, is standing there, and he doesn't know what's about to happen, but he knows it's not good. But right when that guy says, "You had money for the meter," he ducks his head. He like that sad thing is like, oh no. Like he couldn't process the fact that the guy was still continuing to argue with the big fat idiot who wanted to fight a hobo. And so he said, "You had money for the meter." And I didn't say anything to him because what do I say at that point? Yes, I obey the laws of society, and I don't sit in my own shit in my own fucking old pants on a goddamn post office set of stairs and have a math conversation with any passerby and then swear at someone who won't give me a dime. Yeah, I had money for the meter. Unfortunately, that's all the money I fucking had at this point. I was that quarter and that car away from being you. But I didn't say that. I had to go inside and grab Tina Armidson's mail.
You're listening to The 40-Year-Old Boy, and coming up, 12 White Guys Talking. 6 White Guys Talking was such a hit, it's time to double your pleasure. How big is that studio? 12 White Guys Talking on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network. Here's something funny. I talked through the entire break. Let's get back to the 40-Year-Old Boy on the Mike Schmidt Podcasting Network.
Fuck you, that's my name. They got to do this. Someone should do this. Fuck you, that's my name. You know why, mister? Because you rolled a Jazzy to get here tonight, and I drove a $100,000 BMW. That's my name. And your name is your wanting. You can't play in the man's game? You can't close them? Then roll home and tell your nurse your troubles. Because only one thing counts in this life. Get them to hand over the change, which is jangling. You hear me? Write it up. God damn it. ABB. A, always. B, begging. Always be begging. Always be begging. AIDP, attention, interest, decision, pleading. Attention. Do I have your attention? Interest. Are you interested? I know you are, because you stopped here at 7-Eleven and made fucking eye contact with me. You get their change or you roll away in shame. Decision. Have you made your decision for Christ? And pleading. Get out there. Fuck. I've been sitting here during the break mocking Lily Adam. She's like, just say it. Just say it. I go, someone should do it. She goes, just say it then. Fine. Oh, Christ. All right. You see, I bring you the best ideas from 1992. That's what I do. I bring you what would have been the greatest thing to do in 1987. It would have been brilliant. I bring you the greatest content from the 90s. Oh, I'm the best. A, always. B, begging. Come on, folks.
Oh, fuck.
Really? It is Sunday afternoon still. It should be Sunday night because we've been here forever. Because I can't. It's not a show I can mow through. I want to. I just can't. Because I just talked to you folks, right? You know that. I talked to you. I told you all that. I've done nothing. It's been 3 days. What the fuck have I done with my life? I mean, and it's so funny because then Lily's like, "Hey man, there's a shit ton of stuff you didn't talk about last time you were here," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's all gone. That stuff's old." And she's like, "What do you mean it's old?" I said, "Well, because that should have been talked about on Wednesday. I can't talk about it now. It seems ridiculous." And she's like, "You are the craziest fucking person in the world. Just talk." Exactly. Just talk. Right. Easy for you to say. You don't have to talk. And this isn't hard. Of course, this isn't hard. As I've mentioned, whatever. It's sort of hard. Who knows? But when you've only had like 3 days in between, I mean, I've done nothing. I sat at my house and watched YouTube. That's all I fucking did the whole time. Did you see did you see the fucking, dude, did you see the clip where the dude, look, don't go to Russia. We all know that, right? My brother, he was like, he used to say, don't go to Brazil. But I think it's changed now. Don't go to Russia because everybody in Russia has those car cams. I think I talked about that on here before, where everyone has a dashboard cam. And I didn't know what that was. I thought it was standard with the cars in Russia, like for the reason they built shit. But no, it's because everybody does insurance scams, so they want to have video of all the shit that happens. And I saw 2 clips from Russia this week. Did you see the one with the plane crash? A plane crashed in Russia on the side of a highway, and this dude is in a car. He's just driving, and you see a plane crash essentially right next to him, just into the highway, and then fucking debris comes flying into the street. And my favorite part of it, there's people on the highway driving, and this dude is driving in this dash cam, and it just seems like a normal day on the freeway, as normal as it can get in Russia. And then a plane crashes, and debris flies out and smashes into him and smashes into another car. And then there's another car. The other car keeps driving. Just keep, because you know what? That's how scared to death they are of insurance scams in fucking Russia. This guy thought the plane crash was an insurance scam, and he's like, I gotta keep moving because something's gonna happen. A team of commandos is gonna burst out of this plane and fucking take me out because it is so brutal. There was another dash cam this week. A person's driving, and so it's a 2-lane road, and it's icy and snowy, and someone pulls around them and tries to get past them. And as they do, they lose control of their car. They start to hydroplane. They skid on the ice. And then a semi-truck hits them in the back end of the quarter panel. And a baby flies out of the car onto the road. And a bunch of other stuff does too, but the baby is the thing we're concerned about here in America. In Russia, I can tell you they're not so concerned about the baby because this shit flies out and then a truck bears down on the child like an 18-wheeler and it finally stops and it's like a foot away. It misses this infant, this toddler by a foot. The family gets out of the car. They scoop up the toddler. They throw him in the car like a bag of flour, and then they start cleaning up the rest of their stuff because they just want to keep driving. I don't know what kind of Russian heroin they had in their car that they didn't want to get pulled over. Do me a favor, put a blanket on that kid and a seatbelt, maybe a seat fucking belt, because they said that the kid had like facial lacerations and a broken bones because of course it got pitched out of the car because it got hit by a truck, and then another truck almost fucking ran it over. And I'll be honest with you, as that baby is lying on the road and the truck is bearing down upon it, it's probably never been in a better situation in its life. Because if you've got a family that is driving and hydroplaning and doing high speed on the ice and then you get fucking kicked and you get smashed and thrown out, that baby has never been in a better situation than when it was almost crushed by an 18-wheeler, because it does not have a life ahead of it, folks. Certainly not a good one. I dove down a YouTube hole. That's all I did this week. That's easy. You start watching shit, and then in the margins, and you know what you know what I hate doing? It's so dumb, and I do this. I'll still get suckered, but not a ton. But occasionally you have to. There's all those fucking like twerking videos and stuff like that on YouTube, where it's just hot girls in thongs dancing. And the stupid thing is, I'll watch it, and I'm watching a girl, in this poorly lit bedroom, and she dances around in a thong to fucking Trey songs. And what's so stupid about it is I am 4 seconds away from all the porn I could ever want in my life. And yet I'm on YouTube watching a girl in a Brazilian cut, like, or French cut panties or whatever the fuck, or why am I identifying the panties, folks? Because I go to different panties. I go to the French panty channel, the Brazilian panty channel. But I mean, anytime. Look, if you're watching a girl in underwear online, you're wasting time. You're wasting time. We are all 4 seconds away from the most horrible porn we've ever seen in our lives, and we're wasting our time on YouTube watching girls dance in panties. Get off of there. What are you doing? This is really a pep talk for myself, folks. This is not for you. But I'll do that anytime I'll do it because what I really hate is I'll go to, even if I'm an ESPN or one of the blogs or sites like that, and on the bottom, they'll have a picture of like a weather girl standing in front of a green screen map, and it'll say, the entire audience was shocked when this happened. Click here. If you ever click that, kill yourself. Kill yourself. Because you would have heard by now what happened with the weather girl and the amazing, unveiling vagina. I mean, you would have seen that. It would have happened in the news. You would have found out about it. There's no link on the internet that is going to take you to something that you didn't hear about if you're on the internet for any length of time. But then you'll find things, like I said, when you get on YouTube, you'll find stuff that's amazing that you didn't know existed. I saw a clip of LL Cool J this week. Now, look, we've all seen LL Cool J. He's a huge buff dude, and he's all rich, and he's a rapper, and he's an actor, and, I love him. I wish I could say that was too strong. It's not too strong. I love the man, and I love him even more after he killed a guy last year. Did you see that story? I was fucking beautiful. Did I talk about that on here? Guy broke into LL Cool J's house, and then LL Cool J beat the shit out of him. I did talk about that on here. Yeah. But then I saw this clip. So this clip of LL Cool J he was 17, which is, of course, when he started when he was 16 or whatever, but then he started to get famous when he was 17. But this is a clip where he's paying his dues. He's in a high school gym in Maine in front of like 60 white kids. It's the weirdest. I don't even know how he got the booking. I don't know. And I don't know how he went through with it. But because the best part is he's doing his thing and then he's trying to explain what rap is to everybody. What's that thing I'm doing? That's called rap. What's that thing I'm doing? It's a human beatbox. And what's that thing I'm doing? And then he human beatboxes. And the kids are like, yay. And now if you human beatbox now, because again, it just showed how different rap is. I mean, because when I was growing up, rap was just becoming what it was. And then there was LL and Kool Moe Dee and, KRS-One and all those guys. But then you had like the Fat Boys who were fucking just ridiculous. And because then LL Cool J liked the Fat Boys because he does the human beatbox on stage. The Fat Boys are awful. They are awful. And I had their first album and I played it. I burned the tape out. I played it so much because it was just, it was rap and it was new, but it was also, and I learned it. Like I listened to it so much that I knew the fucking words. The Fat Boys rapped about being fat. That's what they did. And you don't get that often anymore, folks. You don't get so much. There is not as much literalism in music right now because these are the Fat Boys and they rap about being fat. Like I wonder what came first. Did they? All right. Are they like, dudes, we're totally fat. Let's form a band. And then they wrote a bunch of cool songs about being fat and they go, we need a name for this band. And then decided to be the Fat Boys? Or were they just like together? They go, we need a band. We're the Fat Boys. And then they sat down to write material and it just found everything they wrote was about pizza. Is that what it was? They had no imaginations whatsoever. And they had one friend who could go, and they were like, here, you're in. Done. Human beatbox. Because beatboxing, when it's done right, is awesome. And what's funny is he was the human beatbox, okay? He was terrible. Like, he became known as the human beatbox, but then you heard, like, Dougie Fresh, and you were like, oh, okay, Dougie Fresh is fucking amazing, and the human beatbox is just a fat idiot who should, just put pizza in there and quit making noises. He's doing his fucking human beatbox thing, but he's all fat. He could have been having a heart attack, and that's why he died. I'm sure when the human beatbox died, he was going, and they're like, haha, human beatbox. And then he's just dead. And they're like, oh no, we thought he was just doing a new song. God damn it. The Fat Boys were fat and rapped about being fat. You don't get that anymore, folks. That's quality music. And then the Fat Boys made a song with Chubby Checker. And the only reason they did it is because his name was Chubby. I'm not bullshit. They didn't give a shit about the twist or whatever the fuck, because then they did the Wipeout song or I don't even remember what the fuck it was. But they brought in Chubby Checker. That the Fat Boys were in the room with their management, and he's just like, you know what? I got a great idea, guys. And they just nodded because they were too busy shoving fucking pork sandwiches in their face to say no to the Chubby Checker idea. And then they called Chubby Checker and they're like, hey, you want to be with the fat boys? And he's like, of course I do. I'm Chubby Checker. They're the fat boys. It works perfectly because that's 1950s thinking. And Chubby Checker, of course, is on board. The fat boys should have said no, but at that point, they were still trying to keep the pasta money rolling in.
Really?
Yes, really. That's all they did. They made money and they bought pasta. And they went to jail. They went to jail without no bail. They went to jail. They went to jail because they failed. It was just one night they would never forget. They got jail for something they would always regret. It was 12 o'clock midnight and they wanted a snack. So they went downstairs. They thought the fridge was packed.
Oh my Christ.
That's the best part. They rapped about eating. They rapped about eating. They were the fat boys and the songs were about eating. It's genius. It's brilliant in its simplicity. But when they opened the door, what did they see? The back of the fridge staring right at me. I thought to myself, I could almost die when an image appeared of pizza pie. Fucking yes! So I threw on Adidas, headed out the door as I pictured myself eating more and more. That's what it was. He was so hungry. I'm sorry. It's genius.
Oh my God.
But the store was closed. He busted into a rage, so he went to his crib and got the 12 gauge. He went and got his shotgun because the pizza place was closed. That's how fat they were. That's how hungry the fat boys were, that they were so angry the pizza place was closed, he went back and got a 12 gauge shotgun. The team up with Chubby Checker. That's brilliant. The fat boys and Chubby Checker. And again, the only reason is because his name was Chubby. That's like if the Queens of the Stone Age decided to do the Flintstones theme song. It's just like, it's that weird... Because they have Stone Age in the name. Like, let's make the leap. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. That's like if Taylor Swift called Fastway. And they were her backing band when she went out on the road. Fastway, Jesus, that's a deep pull. Holy fuck. And they did the song Say What You Will, We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Actually, fuck that. I'm on board with Taylor Swift and Fastway mashup. Somebody do that. Look at all the ideas I'm putting into the ether. God damn it, this is a genius show. I'm just trying to get through it, but I've come up with like 5 brilliant ideas for all of you people to put into motion and then credit me and then send me some money so I don't have to do anything ever. Went to the crib and got my 12 gauge. That's like the Mumford & Sons calling Steve Mumford to be on their album. He's not even a singer. They just pulled his name out of the phone book and told him to come down. Hey, Steve, come on down. You can play spoons or jug or whatever the fuck we got lying around. We don't know. You can just stare wistfully. How about that? That's what you can do, and you'll get a credit for it on the album. I tell you what, we're going to set up 4 banana peels. You walk and slip into a theremin. We'll see what noise comes out of it. And we'll put it in our next single. Now, if you'll excuse us, we have to go have our shave contest. Oh, Mumford. I ran back to the store, busted down the door, and all I saw was pizza galore. Took a shotgun, went back to the pizza place, and kicked in the door to eat pizza. So he stuffed his face till he could not walk. Couldn't laugh, smile, shake, giggle, wiggle, or talk. That's right.
Oh my God.
And then he fell asleep with his face in his plate, and the next thing knew, he was headed upstate in jail. In jail without no bail. In jail because we failed. Rap. He says that. He goes, rap. All right. Was it Doug Wimbish? I think it was one of the guys in the Fat Boys. I can't remember their names. Camary and Wimberly? Why are these names coming to my head?
No idea.
Look up Camary and Wimberly and look up Doug Wimbish. Not you. You people at home. Not you, Lily. You don't have to look up those people. You guys are on Wimberly and Wimbush detail. I need to know who those people are. Camary and Wimberly he's either a basketball player or somebody. I don't know who he is. And Doug Wimbush. I can't remember the human beatbox's name. Oh yeah, it was How do you spell that? So LL Cool J, he's like, this clip from this gymnasium, and he's still awesome. But I will tell you this, he's with Cut Creator. And then he's like, yo, cut creator, lay down or whatever. And then cut creator is awful. I mean, he's just awful. He is creating no cuts that are worthy of talking about. Cut creator, you know what? Cut creator put forth the effort that I would expect a DJ would put forth in a gymnasium in Maine full of white people. And then LL Cool J has to go, hey, you know what that he's doing right there? It's called scratching. Like he's explaining rap. It's brutal. Everybody in the fucking crowd is wearing lumberjack clothes and drinking syrup. It's Maine. I've never been there. That's what they do, right? Or they grab lobsters, right? I'm sorry. All these people are hauling in lobster traps and saying that the show is wicked good. I was watching Rick Springfield clips on YouTube. I posted them on my Facebook page just a couple weeks ago because it's fucking amazing. It's amazing. Rick Springfield, Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters is doing a movie called Sound City Music, I think, and it's a documentary on a famous studio that was in Van Nuys that Fleetwood Mac worked in, and Rick Springfield recorded Working Class Dog there. And so what Dave Grohl did, because they recorded, did you record In Utero there, or did they actually record Nevermind there? I think it's Nevermind. So Nirvana recorded Nevermind there. And when it turned out they were going to be closing it down, Dave Grohl bought the actual console. Like he said, I want all the equipment, and then he set it up at his house because he feels there's magic in that equipment because of all of the good music. And it's such an interesting idea to me to think that not only was it the talent that came through the building, but it's the actual equipment contributed to making the talent what it was, and the theory that you can't have that much genius in one place without it somehow influencing its surroundings. I love that idea. So he took all the equipment, and by the way, that means that people will be buying all of this at some point. They'll be coming in and buying the contents of the oldest building in Hollywood. So I love the idea of the movie, and then Dave Grohl went out and he found all of the people who recorded there, a lot of the people, and then he went ahead and wrote new music with them and recorded the music, and he's putting out an album, and he made a documentary about this. I love the whole concept, but the thing that I love more is that Rick Springfield is involved. And the reason I love that is because, look, there's no secret here. I love Rick Springfield. All right, I know that sounds stupid, but I love his music, and I root for him as a person. Consequently, because he's Dr. Noah Drake and a punchline, and he's a soap opera guy and all this bullshit. But he's better than that, man. He's better than that. And I joke about it, and I say that I love his music, and every time I say I'm going to see him or anything, I get that fucking look, that weird look from people, and you can just go, well, I don't care, man. I fucking love it. But there is a small part of you that goes, yeah, I don't like getting that look from people. I don't, because I don't. If I say I'm going to see Rick Springfield and people like kind of chortle and laugh, and you just go, but you love what you love. There's nothing you can do about it. And I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong about him, because the music, even if it's 4-minute pop songs, it's genius in its construction. It's brilliance. It's brilliance. There are different kinds of brilliance. You can be brilliant in all sorts of different fields. Somewhere out there, there's someone who is writing songs about breaking into a pizza place with a shotgun, and someone is calling it brilliant. The Fat Boys were the most brilliant practitioners of "we're so hungry we're going to shoot somebody" music. So you can't deny what people like. It's like I always tease Lily because she hangs out with all these burlesque people, and they're eating fire, and then they're pulling birds out of their sleeves, and all these magicians and all this different stuff, and it's just kind of a traveling circus that Lily hangs out with. But at the same time, these people are brilliant at what they do. Whether what they do is accepted in mainstream society or is looked upon as a serious art story, well, I accept it. I choose. Look, here's the thing. You want to do whatever you want to do, fucking good for you. And do it the best you possibly can and make yourself happy. I reserve the right to fucking make fun of everything in the world. I'm serious. It doesn't. I make fun of myself. Hey, I love Kiss. Kiss is awful. They are awful. Kiss is doing surgery with a hammer. They're just bad. But it doesn't matter, because every time I hear them, I'm 8 years old. And I'm in my house with my 4 brothers, and I've got an angler broom in my hand, and I'm playing guitar, and I'm fake Paul Stanley. That's happening. It just is. I hear Strutter. I hear fucking Got to Choose. Got to Choose. Oh my God, off Kiss Alive. Oh, dude. Lady! Woo! Come on, damn it! You know I heard the neighbors say. God, I heard the neighbors say. The neighbors. Paul Stanley went out and talked to his neighbors about his girl. They say you might be leaving me today. Really? Your neighbors came up to you? Hey, Paul, we got to talk to you. Bad news. Your girl's splitting. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, fuck.
And it's so funny. I yelled "Got to Choose" in your ear a second ago, and I apologize, all right? Because I can't sing. I have no talent whatsoever in that area. I barely rapped through the Fat Boys. You heard it. But that's what music does, man. That's what genius does. It motivates you to want to be involved. It motivates you to throw yourself into it. I would fucking sing all of "Got to Choose" to you right now. It would be horrendous. There's no doubt it would be terrible. Because not only is the song, the lyrics are fucking ridiculous, but it doesn't matter. When I hear that fucking first guitar note, it's so great. It makes me so happy. And that's how I feel about Rick Springfield. He makes me so happy when I hear his music. Because again, I'm 13 or I'm working in a fucking record store and about to steal that album. I mean, I'm doing all that shit. And the thing is, when he's involved in this movie with Dave Grohl, because also I love the Foo Fighters. And I love Nirvana. I love Dave Grohl. I love that kind of music. But if you said to someone, hey, do you like Nirvana? And they'd go, yeah. And you went, hey, do you like Rick Springfield? They'd be like, fuck that. Well, to see him on stage with Dave Grohl and to see Dave Grohl giving Rick Springfield the respect that he deserves, it was fantastic. Because I don't only like his music. I know this sounds stupid because again, he's rich. He's rich and he's famous and he's got all these different things, but I'm rooting for him as a person. And I shouldn't be that invested in it, but I'm so happy to see him getting respect. I'm so happy to see people liking what he does. And truth be told, on a certain level, man, I'm so happy on a human level. I'm so happy to see people loving something that I love, because I know the happiness it brings me, and to see other people enjoying it, it feels like you're sharing it, and it all feels like we're in it together, kind of. And also, it validates me a little bit, even though it doesn't. But we all get that, where it's something you really like, and then all of a sudden it gets noticed or it gets respect. And you go, oh yeah, I'm part of that. And it's so stupid to talk about in an outsider voice about Rick Springfield, who couldn't possibly be any more insider or pop or phony or fake to a lot of people. But eventually it all comes around and talent wins out. And he did these shows, Sound City at Sundance, where Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters were on stage, and he just kept bringing up superstars and playing music. They brought up Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick to go with Corey Taylor from Slipknot. They did Surrender. They did Ain't That a Shame. They brought up Lee Ving from Fear. They brought up a ton of bands, and they fucking cranked it, and the crowd was into it. And then you see they bring Rick Springfield on stage. And look, everybody knows Jesse's Girl. All right? There's that thing where everybody hears it, and they're like, yay, Jesse's Girl. But to see him on stage singing Love Is All Right Tonight, all right? And it sounds so stupid, I know. But that's a song that, like, if you said that to anybody, because you say Rick Springfield, everybody says Jesse's Girl. And then he did I've Done Everything for You, and he did Love Is All Right Tonight. And you see, because that song is so great, it builds to a real crescendo, and you see him on stage playing it, and he's got the Foo Fighters behind him. So Rick Springfield is awesome on his own, but then the Foo Fighters are behind him, and they're playing the music, and you hear the crowd singing every word, and they're so into it. God damn it. I wanted so bad to be there. I would have, if I had a fucking, like that remote from Click, I would have stopped it and then driven to Sundance and just been in the audience for that fucking show. Because just to see the validation and to see Rick is and the fucking 63 years old. This guy is 63 years old. And it just shows that talent wins out. And eventually it all comes around. And you will be noticed and you will be respected and you will be recognized for your achievements. And there's, you know, a kernel of that in there for a 45-year-old guy who's in the middle of doing nothing with his life to, you know, maybe you think, hey, there is a little bit of hope. Although, you know, Rick's been famous for fucking 80 years, so it's stupid to even identify with it. But still, on a lower level like that, you do find it inside your brain. So I'm watching these clips of him on stage, and it's so funny. He was also, like, then they brought out John Fogerty and did some amazing, you know, songs, and then they brought out Stevie Nicks. And those clips are online. Now, the next day, the headlines in all of the stories were Dave Grohl with John Fogerty and Stevie Nicks plays amazing concert. And I have to tell you, I read the headlines and I was furious. Furious because you know what? Yeah, Fogerty did a very good job. He was Fogerty, and if you like CCR and you're into that, it was great. It was really great. And because there are people out there who feel about CCR the way I feel about Rick Springfield, and let's be honest, there's 1,000 more people out there that feel that way about CCR than I do about Rick Springfield, and also about Fleetwood Mac and Stevie Nicks. Those are the famous ones. But if you watch the clips, it's Rick Springfield who fucking holds it down, and just destroys the place. And you can see Dave Grohl is so happy to be on stage with Rick Springfield playing that music. It made me so happy to watch it. And then by the way, like I said, the articles, the headlines were all about John Fogerty and Stevie Nicks. But then in the body of the article, all of them would say, and an amazing part came when Rick Springfield came out and tore the roof off the place. Like they give him his props in the article, but I'm like, why couldn't you put him in the fucking headline? Because he gets disrespected. Because you don't think he's John Fogerty and you don't think he's Stevie Nicks. Well, I got news for you. Stevie Nicks isn't fucking Stevie Nicks anymore. And this is a guy who loves Stevie Nicks. If I had the fucking remote from Click, I would go and right now marry Stevie Nicks in 1976. I got a lot of traveling with that remote. I got to get that remote. I've never even seen that movie. You know what's funny? I've never even seen the movie Click. I just know what it's about. But there comes a point in your life where you wish you had a remote to start over. And I apparently would go marry Stevie Nicks and go see Rick Springfield in Sound City in Sundance. That's all. I wouldn't fix any of the mistakes I've made in my life. Well, I guess marrying Stevie Nicks would. Although, of course, when you think about it, I'm 9 in 76. That can't be a good relationship for her. Although I'm tall enough to be able to blow the coke in her ass with the straw. She doesn't have to. I don't have any. I don't have to stand on a fucking stoop or anything. God, I love Stevie Nicks. Oh. Dude, you want to talk about a YouTube hole? Go watch. I've talked about that on here, where you go watch her singing "Dreams" live, or you go see them. Rhiannon. Oh my God, go see the clip from the Midnight Special of her singing Rhiannon. Silver Springs. Go watch the clip of Silver Springs where she won't stop staring at Lindsey Buckingham. All right, I stop. I've talked about this a million times. Stevie Nicks, awesome. But in the clip for "Dreams" with Dave Grohl, she sounds like me. And that's only because her voice has become naturally deeper and she doesn't hit the high notes and she's not as melodic and she's not able to surf her range anymore. And that's why when you see Rick Springfield fucking holding it down, you're just like, God damn it. Yes. 63 years old and still sounds like he did when he was 33, when he was 23, when he was 3. Oh my God, he had a great voice when he was 3. By the way, he was 3 in 1911. That's how old Rick Springfield is. Jesus Christ. This guy, he's lived through 3 world wars. Well, we've only had 2. He's lived through 2 world wars, 2 police actions, and a fucking Grenada. Whatever the fuck. Springfield's been around forever and rocking every second of the way. I actually saw him last year. I went and saw him last year. Did I talk about that on here? I don't know if all right, here's the thing. I have to tell you this, folks. I don't know if I've talked about this. So get ready. This could be a rerun, and you could be very disappointed in it. Because I even asked Mex. I said, hey, did I tell the story about, because, it's Rick Springfield week for me, folks. I opened my door at my house, and I told you I'm watching those clips, and I'm so mad. I'm so angry because they're doing those Sound City concerts here in Los Angeles. They're playing at I think at the Palace or something, or the Wiltern maybe. And it's Dave Grohl and Rick Springfield and Stevie Nicks and all of that. It's $80 a ticket. But to be in the door, I mean, of course you go. You have to go, right? Well, guess what? You know when that show is? Today. Because you're hearing this on Thursday. Now, I'm recording this on Sunday, but you're hearing this on Thursday. That show is tonight. Rewind this, and you'll realize that I'm in fucking Chicago right now. Getting ready to do a show for you guys tomorrow, which is good. And by the way, tickets are still available for that show. If you go to brownpapertickets.com, and I'll tell you about it later, but let's buy some Chicago tickets. If only to justify me being away from the love of my life. I wondered if they were going to do those shows, and then they announced it, and I'm like, I literally, because I'm here all of February, I was crestfallen. I was heartbroken. I was something else with 3 syllables. I was Jesse's girl. It's 3 syllables. So, where was I going with this? Oh, talking about Rick. So I opened my door of my apartment, and there was an Amazon box, and I opened it up, late at night, the Rick Springfield autobiography. I didn't order this book. The gods just decided to drop it on my doorstep. That's what I thought. But then I opened it up and there was a slip from my friend Pat Francis.
Aww.
And he said, consider this a late Christmas gift or an early Valentine's gift, which I thought was really nice of him. I'll prefer the latter. Thank you, Patrick. He goes, I was getting it for me, and then I saw it, and he goes, I had to get it for you, too. And I was like, great. So I got it. And I just looked at it, and he's on the cover. He's on the jacket, and he's just fucking beautiful. Even at 63, God damn it. He was in Californication a couple of years ago, and he was so great. He was hysterical in it, and because he was able to poke fun at who he was and who he is, but then still like be fucking Rick Springfield. Oh, so great. What's Victoria's Secret, folks? So I may have told this story. I may not have. It's not even a story. It's just something that happened. I gotta learn the meaning of the word story. But I saw Rick Springfield last year at, it was the weirdest. So let me get to this real quick. I hated that noise I just made. And folks, I want to cut it out, but I won't. I make noises like that a lot where I'll be talking and I might, because this is all dependent on my head firing and me being able to move forward. Well, sometimes I'll get in a weird Mel Tillis loop and I'll be like, and I'll make a fucking terrible, and I go, cut it, stop. And then I'm furious at it. So then Lily has to rewind it and she plays it back and I go, oh my God, don't play that noise for me. She goes, I need to do it because I don't know where to cut it. I'm like, yeah, but I hate that noise. She goes, stop. You're crazy. So I don't even know if I told this story or not. So I actually had to call David, and I'm like, hey, Max, did I tell this story? And he said, well, I know you told the story about when you saw Rick Springfield and you threw up at the carnival. And I'm like, yeah, this is a different one. And he's like, I don't think so. And so then I got here and I said to Lily, I said, hey, did I talk about Rick Springfield at all? And she's like, yeah, I remember when you were at a tent or something and you took pictures of him. I said, yeah. And it dawned on me, man, I got a lot of Rick Springfield stories. Jesus Christ. But that's good. You should have those. You guys should have them. And you should have less stories that say, I hate Rick Springfield. That's what I'll tell you about you folks. Although here's a good story for you. You'll be like, oh my God, I listened to this podcast and the guy talked about fucking Rick Springfield for an hour. That's your new Rick Springfield story. So, all right. So I went to see him and he usually announces these shows and he plays and it's $60 to see Rick. Now, you would think that because I love him so much, there would be no price too high for me to pay to see Rick Springfield. And that would be true if I was rich. If I was a rich person, I would see him all the time. In fact, if I was a rich person, he and I would be friends. I feel confident in saying. Because I would be in the rich people club and I would find out what day he attends the meetings and I would show up. And I would wear my Richie Rich outfit and I would have my golden spoon melted out of pirate doubloons and he would see me. We would make eye contact across the room. And he'd walk up and I'd go, hi, I'm Rick Springfield. And I'd say, sigh. And then he'd carry me away. And, all right, never mind. Come on. I did the first verse of In Jail by the Fat Boys.
I wasn't with you on that one.
Come on. So so he normally it's $60 and I would pay because he plays these small rooms. Like he plays the Canyon Club, which is by my house. That's where Pat and I usually go stalk for autographs. And it's $60 and I just can't. I mean, it's just a bite in the ass, especially now to pay that to see him. So last year he announced a show because I'm on his mailing list, and yes, I have his app on my phone too. That's my favorite part. Have I ever shown you the app? I'm showing Lily the app right now just to see your face. I won't show you the whole app. I just want you to see the icon. Because I downloaded it and I was so happy with the icon, it thrilled me to no end. All right, hold on. Drink. It's right on the top there. It's just his face.
Oh my God.
It's awesome. It's like literally I have the ArcLight and then I have Amazon.com and then there's Springfield and it's just his face. Oh, it's fucking fantastic. So I follow him on Twitter and all this stuff. Yeah, I'm stalking the man. So I get notes from him when something happens, when he's going to be in my area.
Notes from him?
Yes, MASH notes. Hey, Mike. And so he told me last year that he was going to be here. And
Yes, he did.
he was playing there's a place in Burbank. The best place to see a concert in Los Angeles is the Greek Theater. And it is in Los Angeles proper, I guess, behind Franklin. And it's just it's amazing open air venue. It's so, anytime you can see a concert there, go. Even if it's somebody you hate. That seems strong. But go for the kettle corn and the atmosphere. Well, now there's a theater in Burbank, and it's an outdoor arena. And last year, Rick Springfield announced that he was going to be there. And so I looked, I was like, oh, Jesus Christ, it's usually $60. So I looked it up, I clicked on it, and tickets were $10.
What?
It said tickets 10. I'm like, what? And it wasn't the Gold Star. It wasn't any of that bullshit. It was just, so I clicked over to Ticketmaster, and I looked at the seating chart, and it was $15 for the closer seats, and then $10 for the ones in the back. Well, fuck it, I'm buying $15 seats, of course. Part of me wanted to buy an entire row just for me, like buy all the 15 and just to have that row bought out and just relax. Just sit there and marinate in Rick. So I bought a couple of $15 seats, and again, I've never been to this venue. I don't know anything about it, but in my head I'm going, why is it so cheap? I don't know why he's playing there, first of all, and I don't know why he's doing it for so cheap. Is he just going to play a truncated set? Is he just going to do a little, whatever? So Karen and I go to the show, and she wants to go. I don't drag her. She loves him too. Not as much as me, maybe. So we get to this venue, and it turns out that this place in Burbank, it's up a hill, and you got to park, twisty turns, there's trees, and then we go walking up, and you got to walk uphill to get to it. It's an outdoor venue. It's like a miniature Greek theater in Burbank. Do you know which one I'm talking about? Because you used to live over there up in those hills. So it's around there. So we get up into this arena, and then they had, wine and burgers, and there was kids outside. It was like a summer fest atmosphere in that families showed up because it was cheap, and the parents, of course, the wives love Rick Springfield, and the husbands are like, well, I'll go with you because I'll go get a beer and be outside. And then the kids are there, and they don't know why they're there. They just know mom loves some guy. And then you've got me and Karen. So it's a ton of families, a ton of people, and a ton of single women who are all 44, 45 years old. So we're sitting down waiting, and there's no opening band. Well, there is an opening band, but we didn't see her. We were outside, and she's playing, and she just did some cover songs. And it turns out this is there's like a radio station hosting it, and there's a raffle, and they're giving shit away, and it's a fundraiser where they're making money. You can buy raffle tickets. And so I went, oh, shit, it's like a raffle. So he'll come out and he'll play like 2 or 3 songs and then take off. So we get our seats, and when we walked in, there's the stage, and then there's like a pit with no seats in front of the stage. And then about 30 feet back is when the seats start. So we go and we climb up to our seat. We're in like row 4, which I thought was 4th row by the stage, but it turns out there's this 30-foot pit, and might have even been bigger than that. And then there's rows in front of us. So we sit down, and it's there's no seats. It's like bench seating. And again, I don't care. What the fuck? It's $15. And I'm going to see Rick sing Jesse's Girl and leave, because that's all he's going to do, right, in this small venue. So they have the raffle to give some stuff away, and Karen and I are excited, and I'm looking around, and again, it's old people with kids, and I realize none of them know exactly what they're in for, because the tornado of entertainment, the whirlwind of genius that is Rick Springfield, is going to come out and blow the barbecue right out of their fucking hands. And you look around, the best thing was that you look around and like I said, the guys are just kind of there talking or whatever. And every woman is kind of quiet. They're like sitting there, and they all have wine. Like every woman's got a white wine, and they're just staring forlornly at the stage, waiting. Because they're just like me. And then all of a sudden they clean off the raffle, they do all that stuff, and then the lights go off, and it's still kind of dusk outside. But then the music starts, and then Rick Springfield comes out. And and I've seen him a bunch of times. He's really good in concert because he's kept performing and he's kept singing. So his voice is in shape. He looks amazing. and he plays the hits. He'll do like a medley of like 12 hits in the middle of everything. He'll just bang, bang, bang them out, and you're left spent. At the end of it, you're spent. So Rick Springfield comes out, and he's crushing it. And he keeps playing, and he plays 2 songs, and I figured he was going to take off. So he gets into the 3rd song, and people are kind of going down to the pit. There were people in the pit, but then other people are kind of drifting down there. And I realized that there's no general admission. That's just kind of there. And it's not full. So I look to Karen and I go, we got to go down there, right? And she goes, what? I go, well, let's go down into the pit and if they kick us out, they kick us out. She goes, all right, well, let's go. So we walk down, and I get on the periphery of the pit. And when I say the pit, nobody's slamming. I mean, there's no moshing going on. I should have started it. That would have been fucking amazing.
Oh my God.
A fucking Springfield mosh? Oh my God. Yeah, I would have done a working class mosh. Moshing hasn't spoiled me yet. Let's do this.
Oh my God.
We all need a human mosh.
Oh my God.
Everybody's talking about computers. They're all dancing to a mosh machine. It's just a state of the mosh. I'm waiting there for you in the state I'm in. So I get down on the periphery. Nobody likes this show but me. I guarantee you, this is the one. Leave this one behind, folks. I know you're not interested. But if you ever wanted to know the words to a bunch of Rick Springfield and Fat Boys songs, this is the one to listen to. Any young person is just like, why do I listen to you? I don't understand it. Anybody who's young listening to this right now, just take your earbuds out and put them in your dad and mom's ears. Here, listen to this idiot. Although your parents are older than me. Even if they're my age, they're older than me. I think we can all agree on that, right? Karen and I were just talking about that the other day. When you see people that you know that are your age, that you knew growing up, and they're old and gray and fat and like bald, and I'm old and fat, but I'm not gray and bald yet. I got gray in my beard and gray in my like hair, but hold on a second. I am those people I'm describing. Wait a minute. I thought I was calling out some guys. It turns out I'm calling out myself. No, but you know what I mean. I mean, you feel the same way. You see somebody you knew, and they're wearing their mom jeans, and then they're settled into making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and putting them in Ziploc bags for the rest of their life. And you're just like, wow, what happened to you, man? You used to be beautiful. But I feel that way because I see there. You know what? Meg's gonna be pissed. He and I used to do that. We would go on Facebook and we'd start calling up people we knew growing up, and you're trying to find their page to see if they existed. And he'd find a guy and he'd go, dude, no way, go here. And you go and you go, oh, what happened to that dude? Like awful. And then I'd find a guy, and we did this for hours, like for 2 hours on the phone. We'd be going back and forth going, dude, did you see this guy? Oh my God, did you see her? And we'd just be lurking. And we are idiots. We are just the worst people. Because we used to joke about that all the time where, because the Axis of Evil, I've talked about those guys. And whenever you'd get us in a room, it would turn into this ball-busting session from high school. And there are guys in the Axis of Evil who are tired of that. Like they, my buddy Jeff is like done. He's our friend and stuff. But if we say to him, if there's ever going to be more than 3 guys that he went to high school with, he wants nothing to do with it. Because he's grown up. He's got a wife and kids and a great job and a house, and he's finished with it. But the funny thing is, Mex is grown up. He's got a wife and kids and a great house, but he's ready to just dive into the wading pool of stupid with me and to fucking snap my fingers. I mean, Jeff and I can sit on the phone and be stupid for hours, but although I haven't in a while. I haven't talked to Jeff in like 8 months. Jesus Christ, it's terrible. He and I were like, you know about Jeff. By Schmitty Comes Alive, the download. You'll hear all about Jeff.
Maybe he bought that.
You think so? And that's why he checked out? He comes off good in that story. He's the hero of that story.
Yeah.
He is. Because he got smart. He got away from me before everything broke bad. By Schmitty Comes Alive. All right, so I don't know. How did I get into this? So I go down, I'm on the periphery of the mosh pit, which is not moshing yet. And it's just, older people. And they're like, yay, Rick, and I should tell you this, by the way, down in the pit, there's like this, a group of people. And like I said, Karen and I are on the periphery of it, and there's no guys. It is all women down there. Except for one man. There's one man who looks like a younger Wilford Brimley. Just like a biker type looking guy with a leather vest, but a big Wilford Brimley mustache and, fucking diabetes. And he's sitting there and he's dead center filming the entire thing. He has and not even in a clandestine way. He's holding a camera up, filming the entire performance, and which I guess was not frowned upon because nobody said anything to him. Because if Rick had said, "Hey, no cameras," I would have taken that motherfucker out. I would have kneecapped him, and I would have stomped that camera into a pile of springs and wiring, and then I would have looked up at Rick Springfield and I said, "Yes, sir. What's next?" By the way, I have no idea how cameras work. Springs and wiring? Really? What? That's like a mattress. That's not a fucking camera. I wonder what his sleep number is on that camera. So, my brain works in a stupid way. So that guy's filming, and I'm on the periphery, and then I decided to creep closer. And I'm like, well, Karen, let's get closer. And I do, and I get closer, and then I get closer. And then now I could touch the stage. I'm so close. And I know you doubt that. You're like, oh, well, whatever. I filmed it. So I actually brought up my phone because when I found out that Rick didn't want me to kneecap that guy, I'm like, well, I might as well get some more keepsakes for myself. So I have clips of Rick Springfield that I actually taped. And, I should throw them on Facebook. At least one of them. Did I throw one of them on Facebook? I thought I did. Maybe I didn't. See, this is another world with this story because when it happened, I was going to tell you guys about it, and then I don't know what happened. My head full of bees went in a different direction, and I forgot to tell you. And then eventually, I wrote down like the name Rick Springfield in my book, and I then thought, well, is that a story, or is that just me doodling his name because he's going to be my husband someday? So I kept forgetting to tell you that this happened. But we were super close. And the show was fucking amazing. He played an entire concert for fucking $15. He played a whole show. He played the medley, and he busted it out. He did everything, man. He crushed it. And he does this. All right. I don't know whether I should just put the clip up or I should just. I'll fucking tell you. He does this thing in his concerts where he runs into the crowd. He comes to the very edge of the stage and he's talking, and then he climbs down when he's singing. He climbs into the audience and he walks through, and so he climbs into the pit and he goes to walk by me, and I mean he's a foot away, not even. So then he goes up and he walks all through the pit, and then he goes up into the actual seats, the ones that I left, and he's singing up there, and then he comes walking back, and I've got my phone out, and he gets close enough and I grab him. Like I fucking grab a hold of him. But then but everybody was grabbing him, so it wasn't like I wasn't a jerk. And then he no. Zipped through. Yeah, exactly. Well, because again, it's all these. Let's put it this way. All right, if it was a bunch of dainty housewives or girls, no, man, these girls. Again, like I said, go look up all the people you went to high school with on YouTube. These girls they're meat eaters. All right, so it's just I might be the biggest dude in the pit, but I might not be the biggest entity in the pit. And plus, these women, if you get in their way and Rick Springfield's there, they will just form into a big fucking fat housewife Voltron and kick the shit out of you. So I grabbed Rick, and they kind of like shoved me in, and so you're getting pushed, and then but on the clip I have, my phone is like right in Rick's face. It's awesome. And it's funny. Yes, I've done shows where you shouldn't be filming, but it's different here because we're in the pit and I'm not blocking people. And this was close enough to have like a weird memory because he's right there. So the show ends, and Rick does this thing. He has flowers that he brings out on stage, and he does it all the time at his shows. He goes through all of these roses because he'll be playing guitar, and then he'll hold a bouquet of roses in one hand, and he'll Pete Townsend windmill the guitar with the roses. And when he hits it, the pedals go it's amazing. It's a really cool visual. He'll like, and he's playing, and the pedals go everywhere, and then he'll just throw the fucking stalks, and then there'll be a huge beef queen scrum as they try to grab all the flowers that get thrown into the crowd. And by the way, I use the word amazing there. I recognize that one man's amazing is another man's Jesus Christ. I would never go fucking see Rick Springfield. I get that. And I understand me being fascinated by a guy hitting a guitar with flowers is certainly not fireworks or anything like that, but you know what? Special for me, so enjoy the ride. Show ends, and we're in the crowd, and there is, all right, they have the stage crew come out, and they're breaking the stage down. And in the front of the stage, like I said, we're still in the pit, and people are talking and milling about and getting their kids, and all of the husbands are, grabbing a mop and cleaning up the snail trail that their wives have left, thinking about Rick Springfield, and they're all drawing, I got to get her home and fuck her quickly while she's still thinking about that guy. And what's funny is that with me and Karen, it's the complete opposite. I mean, Karen's like, yay, this was fun. And I'm just staring at the stage, pie-eyed, singing I Get Excited over and over in my head. I get excited just thinking what you might be like. So at the end of the show, they're breaking down the stage and they've got like set lists and flowers. There's rose petals all over the place. And there's a scramble. And by a scramble, I mean there's a giant offensive line of women just perched right at the front of the stage. And I may have referenced them before. They're big and they're not going anywhere. It is just like it is like a meat anchor. It is a wall. And they are in the front of the stage hoping to get set lists and flowers and then talking about the many times they've seen Rick in their lives and comparing the notes of this show compared to when they saw him in 1984. And there's like 10 women and they're a team. Make no doubt about it. They are absolutely a team. There's some mother and daughters involved and they just love Rick and can't wait to talk about it and they will not move. And there was one rose. There was like a rose that was intact because he, like I said, he smacks the guitar and the petals fly everywhere. But there was a rose that was intact, and there's some on stage, and they're trying to get the crew to give them to them. And then there was one rose that I thought I could reach because I'm a man. I don't need to beg some fucking carny to hand it to me. So if these beef queens will get out of the way, I can reach forward and grab it. However, they have dropped fucking anchor. I mean, they are rooted to the ground. And they seemed nice. They were very nice. They like Rick Springfield just like I like Rick Springfield. So I should have just dovetailed right into their discussion. But I wanted to get this flower because Karen wanted it. So in my head, I'm like, well, I wish I could get that flower. Maybe these girls will move. And then I said, like, excuse me. And they kind of didn't pay attention to me because they were talking about Rick. And, I should have just jumped in. But instead, I chose the opportunity to get angry because that's me. I'm stupid. Not angry, but just frustrated because I probably could have reached that flower. And they're trying to beg for flowers and set lists, and I could have reached it. I could have reached that one. But here's the thing. If I get that one, then they're not going to get it. And that's probably why they're not letting me through. So I'm having the fight in my head already with these chicks because they're blocking me and they don't want me to get that flower. That's the whole thing. They're mad. They're jealous that I could reach it and they can't. And they don't want me to get that fucking flower because they want to get their hands on that flower. They want to trick some fucking roadie into handing it to them, and they can tell a great story about the time they saw Rick Springfield and came up with a real flower. What if they would just step aside? If they would just somehow part the fat sea, I could reach through and grab that flower for my wife and be on my way. But they're, and the thing is, they're not mean. They're nice, but I'm getting anxious because I just want to get that flower and get over there. And Karen winds up talking to them, of course, because Karen's nice and she talks to everybody. She won't stop. She fucking, I can't get into that. I'll do another time. So she's talking to these girls and they're all talking, they're all having fun. And I keep trying to inch forward and lean and grab the flower. And they keep trying to get the roadie to get them that one because we all want that flower. Everybody wants that flower. Rick touched that flower. So I want to get my hands on it. They want to get their hands on it. But the thing is, they need help. I don't need help. I should have just fucking Walter Payton right over him and just sweetnessed into the stage and grabbed it and ran. That's what I should have done. So I had Propel on me, and they were talking about they were thirsty, and I happened to have I think I had 3 Propel on me. I had one in each pocket and one in my hand because apparently I'm Johnny Propel Seed. What the fuck? I had an overcoat. I'm like the guy who opens it up. He's got watches for sale. I open it up. I got just Propel all inside my coat. So they were thirsty and they were talking to Karen, and Karen was being very nice, and they were being nice to Karen, but they just wouldn't move, and I was frustrated because I can get the flower, but still, I'm a nice guy. I'm a good person. We all share one thing, the love of Rick. So I was like, hey, you guys thirsty? Because and I pulled my Propels out. I pulled 2 of them out of my pocket, which must have looked fucking crazy. Hey, look at this. Bang, 2-fisted sports drinks. And they were like, oh my gosh. And I said, here you go. And I gave them the Propel. And to the whole group, I said, I only have a couple, but I was nice, and I handed them to them, and they started to drink. They opened them and they drank them they had little hands, and they were all excited, and they were passing it to and fro, like they were all sharing it. We were having a communal Springfield moment, but I couldn't recognize it because I just wanted to get that fucking flower because Rick touched it. So they're still ensconced, man. They are planted firmly in the front. And every time a roadie goes by, even though we're talking, they will stop and they will look up and they go, oh, sir, excuse me, sir. And the roadies know better, man. They don't want any fucking discussions with these chicks because inevitably it'll be, is Rick here? What's Rick like? Can we smell Rick's pants? I mean, it's just going to be a mess. But it's funny. You know what it is? It's like those dudes are like me and these girls are all the homeless people and they don't want to make eye contact. But inevitably, they know they're going to have to deal with them sooner or later because these girls aren't fucking leaving. I think one of those chicks had a 1-string mandolin. I'm not sure. I think she did. Could have been a birthday cake. She may have been eating a sheet cake. I have no idea. So I'm frustrated because I can't get that rose, and they're all talking and they're doing their thing, and Karen's being nice to them, and I give them the propel, and they're passing it around, and then finally I look at Karen, and Karen's like, "You want to go?" I said, "Well, I wanted to get that flower for you." She goes, "Well, I don't need it." I go, "I know you don't need it, but I want to get it." And I'm competitive and weird and all that because it's not. I don't want to just give up. Like because look, let's put it this way: I might not have even been able to reach it. The whole point was I couldn't even make the effort because fucking Stonehenge won't get out of the goddamn way. Even though I bribed them to propel, I thought that would be enough. But Karen was nice, and she, because again, I may pretend that I was trying to get this flower for Karen, but I wasn't. I mean, I don't want the flower really, but I want the challenge of getting it, and also, Rick, touch that! So Karen's like, we can go, and I wasn't ready to admit defeat, but I knew we had to leave. But I also didn't want to tell these girls excuse me because it would turn into a thing. So then I started to get mad, and it was like that irrational mad, where I said, "No, fuck that, Karen. I got to get this. Why won't these fucking girls move? I don't get." And I'm actually saying this, okay? But we're out of earshot, I think. But actually, I don't care at that point because I'm so frustrated. I go, no, fuck this. I go, why won't they move? I go, if they were going to get anything, the guys would have given it to them by now. Do they think they're going to get it? I could probably grab that. They just fucking. And Karen's like, I don't need it. It's okay. I go, I understand you don't need it. But I just, at this point, it's a quest. It's a fucking quest. And Rick touched that. I want to get it. Fuck this. I can't fucking believe these girls. They've seen them a million times. They're already talking. They probably have fucking flowers and set lists from other shows. And as a matter of fact, some of the girls did have flowers in the front row. It's just they weren't full roses. They were like beat up because he was hitting them on the guitar, or they were holding the stalks or whatever the fuck. And I couldn't understand why they wouldn't just let it go. Get out of the fucking way. So as I'm talking to Karen just goes, look, we can just leave. It's okay. We can take off. And I said, okay. All right, fine, fuck it. Let's go. And I'd forget, it's so bad because I'd forgotten the entire good time that I had, and I should have been enjoying it with those girls. I should have been enjoying the whole atmosphere and having fun, but instead I made it about that flower. I forgot everything and solely concentrated on that, and fucking sapped all of the love out of the night that I had just had. And Rick is, never far from my mind, but he's a little further now because I'm trying to get this goddamn flower. And Karen's like, let's just go. I go, fine, let's go. And it was probably for the best because, I was getting mad and I was talking shit, and I was not as quiet as I thought I was. And so I could kind of see these girls talking and having fun, but I was also ruining their good time because now I had turned into this idiot who wanted to get a flower, all over a flower, but Rick touched it. But I know they kind of heard me bitching about fuck it and why can't they move and all that. And I knew they did, and I felt stupid. I just felt stupid. So then I really wanted to get out of there, but I didn't really want to get out of there. It was just I'm a mess. So, but they ignored me, thankfully. Even if they overheard it or whatever. So Karen's like, let's go. I said, let's go. So we go to Split. And we're walking, and to get out, you have to go around the corner, and there's a backstage area. And the backstage area, there's a ton of flesh. I mean, there's a bunch more girls there waiting to poke their head out or see if Rick pokes his head out. And as we're walking, we hear, "Hey, wait up!" And Karen turns around, and it's the girls. They're all walking out, and they're smiling and they're nice. And they go, "We wanted to thank you again for that water. That was so nice of you." And I said, "Oh, that's cool." And they go, "Here." And it was the rose. They had gotten it. Either the roadie had given it to them, or somehow they had climbed on one another's shoulder in some ridiculous circus act and grabbed it for Karen. And they walked up and they go, "Here." And they gave Karen the rose. And I immediately felt awful. I felt so bad because they were still happy and nice. They weren't mean to us. It wasn't like, here. They weren't spiteful at all. They were genuinely enjoying something that they love and enjoying it together. And they wanted to share that with someone else who loved the same thing they did. And so they were able to ignore me being a dick, and they were able to ignore me getting my weird fucking social anxiety disorder and wondering why they wouldn't get out of my way so I could get a flower. And they were able to put all that on the back burner and just enjoy the fact that we all loved something together communally. And they reached out and gave back to someone who actually had given to them. I did give them water. And I didn't know what to say. I mean, it was weird. Like I kind of almost choked up weird because someone was just being nice. And, I felt so dirty for acting like a brute. I wanted to tell her I was sorry, but the point was probably moot. You guys can get me at mikeandmikeschmidtcomedy.com. You guys can be my friend at facebook.com/the40year-old boy. You can follow me at twitter.com/the40year-old boy. You can visit our friend Dave Hernandez on Facebook and be his friend at facebook.com/DavidMexHernandez. You can be our friend Lily Von Stup's friend on Facebook at facebook.com/Lily Von Stup. You can follow her at two different Twitter accounts. Twitter.com/Lily Von Stup and Twitter.com/MNTs. But if you'd like to write her a personal note and find out exactly how she feels about GoDaddy these days, you can reach her at Lily at burlesque411.com. That's Lily, Lili, at burlesque411.com.
Drink your coffee, hold some pencils, soak your forks deep, hold more pencils, Thor on these mugs, there's Flame Bush Mini on these mugs, go buy these wicked awesome mugs, at MikeSchmidtComedy.com, mugs,
Want to remind you folks about the Monday Night Tease every Monday night at the 3 clubs on Santa Monica and Vine. This week's tease was fucking great, right?
Yes, it was.
Unfortunately, it's Sunday, so we don't know if it was great, but we know it was great because we happen to know the producer of the show, and she only puts on the best burlesque show in town, and her name is Lily Von Stup. Hi, Lily.
Hi, Michael.
How you doing?
I am fantastic.
How's your hip?
It sucks.
You had hip displacement.
I do.
Perhaps you have avuncular necrosis.
I don't doubt it.
That's a tough one. Bo Jackson had that. So this tease which was Monday, and let's just talk about it a little bit. I know it's tomorrow night for real, but it was 3 days ago in this podcast netherworld that we exist in. What is it? It's a cool show with some people from out of town. I remember that. Fuck it. Let's not even talk about it. What about this coming show? This Monday's show. You're so funny. You don't even want to. You just want me out of your house.
February 4th is going to be amazing. I'm hosting.
February 4th is amazing. Is it a theme show or just a show?
The theme is titties.
Oh, that's a good theme. That's a solid theme. And you're hosting.
I am.
Who's performing?
Fuck if I know.
But they're amazing people.
Yes. No, there's somebody great performing. There's somebody from out of town again, and I don't remember who it is. I feel really
You've been getting a lot of people from out of town recently.
I know. There's a lot of carpetbaggers.
And a lot of people who come in and sleep at your house.
Yes, I let people stay with me, too.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Why is that weird?
Because you don't even want me to come over and talk into a microphone, and these people get to sleep here.
It's not true.
Oh, I was supposed to, never mind. I was supposed to bring you something, and I forgot. God damn it.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm not smart. I shouldn't even be here on a Sunday. I'm a fucking zombie.
You shouldn't even be here.
I'm not even supposed to be here today, said Randall.
Let's see. Mia Divine, Pepe LaRue, Holly Rocket, Duchess of Courage, O Olive, Cece Stiletto, and more.
An amazing show. That's
great.
February 4th.
February 4th.
This coming Monday, hosted by Lily Von Stup.
Yes.
And it should be great. Tickets are on sale now at go to brownpapertickets.com, right?
Yes.
All right. And also go to burlesque411.com for all the information about stuff, or MondayNightTees.com.
MondayNightTees.com.
Go to MondayNightTees.com and get all the info, see all the flyers, see all the girls. And you can like the Monday Night Tees page on Facebook. Go to Monday Night Tees page on Facebook, and you can like that, and then you will see photos from past shows, correct?
Yes, actually, you will.
Exciting. Please go to facebook.com/the40year-old boy. While you're there looking for naked girls on Lily's pages, go to my page. That would be the Mike Schmidt page. And again, be my friend while you're there, and be David's friend, David Mex Hernandez. You can click him under Mike Schmidt Inc. and find him. Be his friend, be my friend. And also, there are plenty of places to bring me to your town, pages, I should say, that want me to come to your town or their town. Hampton Roads, Virginia exists. Montreal exists. London, of course, we still want to do that. We would love to. That's going to be a Kickstarter thing, probably. And hey, remember I talked about Tweaked Audio? I didn't talk to them yet. I will, and I'll figure out something for February eventually. It's crazy. It's been a crazy few days because I thought I would be able to get a hold. No, I didn't. I lied. I just forgot. I can't lie. But on Facebook.com, go ahead and sign up for anybody, you want me to come to your town. But I will tell you right now, there are shows on sale right now. 5 shows to be exact, including tomorrow night in Chicago. Folks, I cannot stress enough, buy tickets for this. because, it's Chicago, it's Aurora. Our friend Suzanne, who is a friend of this show, not Suze, but our friend Suzanne, who lives in Illinois, has she's written a few times to say that it's, because if it was in Chicago proper, she would go, but she can't get all the way out to Aurora. So, sorry, I think. I couldn't. I booked Aurora because it was closer to where I'm going to be staying, and I didn't know that. People, because again, people live in a city, so they take public transportation everywhere. They'll take subways or the L train, and I forget that then they, some people don't have cars. So I'll be in downtown Chicago, and we'll see Suzanne eventually, right? That was how great was that laugh? That was just the Suzanne really wants to see you laugh. You're exactly right. She's just being nice on my Facebook page, and I get that. That's fine. But you just gave the yeah, right. That'll happen. I can't see through people when they're just being nice and glad-handing me. I think everyone loves me. They should. So Chicago, man, Aurora, whoever, the suburbs, Iowa, buy some fucking tickets, man. Come out to the show tomorrow night. And I'll tell you what, there are walk-up tickets will be available. I'm saying that right now. If you do walk-up tickets, tell me. Because I still haven't talked to the guys who run this theater, and the guy who brokered the deal for me no longer works there. So I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. If there's walk-up people and they keep it, I don't know who to trust and who not to trust. You know what? I'm like this is my Born Identity show, because I don't know who to trust at this fucking gig. I'm just going to show up and do it, and hopefully it'll be good. So that's this coming Friday. That's tomorrow night, because you're hearing this on Thursday. Tomorrow night, Friday, February 1st, at Comedy at the Shrine in Aurora. Tickets are available at Brown Paper Tickets and will be available all day today, which is Thursday. They will be available until tomorrow morning, and then after that, walk-up tickets will be available. If you are unable to get tickets, check my Facebook page, and I will give an update about whether walk-up tickets are available. But I can tell you right now, walk-up tickets are going to be available. And then after the show, walk up to me and tell me about a walk-up ticket, so I know that they got cash waiting for me, and I don't have to go fucking crazy Jason Bourne on the whole goddamn enterprise. February 1st, that's tomorrow night in Chicago. Tickets available now at brownpapertickets.com. While you're there, why not look up the other shows that I have coming up? March 2nd at the Box Theater in Mount Clemens, Michigan. And then March 9th, that's a Saturday night, in San Antonio, Texas. That's a lie. Let me flip that, folks. March 2nd in San Antonio, Texas at the Woodlawn Theater. That's a Saturday night. And then the following week, March 9th in Mount Clemens, Michigan at the Box Theater. Tickets are available for those at Brown Paper Tickets. That's March 2nd in San Antonio, Saturday night. March 9th in Detroit / Mount Clemens, Michigan on Saturday night, March 9th. And tickets are on sale for those at brownpapertickets.com. Go March 29th to Portland, Oregon. Those tickets are on sale now for the Headwaters Theater, March 29th. And then a week later in San Francisco at the Darkroom Theater, taping for my CD with a Special Thing Records. Come on out and check me out. Come on out and check me out. That sounds awful. That'll be Friday, April 5th at 8 o'clock at the Darkroom Theater in San Francisco, California. I think it's 8 o'clock. Might be 7:30. I don't know. Fuck. I have no idea. Just I know dates. Go to brownpapertickets.com for all of the information regarding starting times and all that kind of stuff. And I hope to see you at one of the live shows. Make sure you come up and say hello. I do have people writing me and asking to hang out. And I got to be honest, a lot of these trips are not built for that. It was easier to do that when I did the Kickstarter stuff, so I could come to town a couple days early and meet people and have dinner. And these shows, with finances the kind of the way they are, I'm kind of in and out a lot of these shows. Chicago is different because I'm going to be there for a few days because I got to meet with Max and do some stuff. But Portland and all the other cities, I'm kind of, like I said, I'm getting to town the day before or the day of, and then leaving early the morning the day after. I even had plans. It's funny, I had booked these shows, and I also booked them around hoops. So I was going to see the Spurs in San Antonio on Friday night. I was going to see the Pistons on Friday night in Detroit. And I was going to see the Blazers in Portland, and I think all that's out. I mean, it's just... In my head, I was trying to buy the airfare and figuring out my airfare to San Antonio. And if I would have gotten to town a day early, I would have had to pay for a hotel a day early and then tickets to the Spurs game. It just turned into a thing. And it's I hate telling you this. And I hate saying that I had to cut down on what could be cool experiences that I could tell stories about. But financially, that's the way it is these days. So that's that. But thank you for your interest. And we can hang out after the show, obviously the night of. But a lot of these shows are just kind of into the city and then out. But yeah, if you're interested, buy tickets first of all, because then that would be able to indicate whether or not I get to stay. Or actually, it doesn't. I mean, the shows are all set. Buy tickets. What the fuck? Shut up. Not you, me. Lily just went out of her house. She's like, shut up. She's furious. She's actually making a fist. She's holding up her fist like, you better get out of here. So all those dates are on sale now. Tomorrow in Chicago, March 2nd in San Antonio, March 9th in Detroit, March 28th in Portland, and then April 5th in San Francisco, California. All of these are available. Buy tickets now at brownpapertickets.com. That's a lot of plugs for a lot of tickets. Go to MikeSchmidtComedy.com. Go to the Joe Business page. The Schmitty Comes Alive download is available. You'll hear all about Jeff from the Axis of Evil and why he doesn't talk to me anymore. Well, you won't hear that part, but you'll hear about him. There's tweakedaudio.com/40. Cock ring watches and autoerotic asphyxiation earbuds are available at tweakedaudio.com/40. There's mugs available through Tweaked, or no, not through Tweaked, through Zazzle. There's the Fireboy mug, and then, of course, the Thorgar and Yeep mug. And then there are T-shirts available, which I will be bringing with me on the road this weekend in Chicago. There's only extra large, large, medium, and small available, and they are in Scar Panda and also in Red Boy. If you want a particular shirt in a particular size and you want to make sure that I have it so it doesn't get sold out because I only bring a limited amount when I come to town, email me ahead of time to make sure that I bring one for you. And let's see. So I'm doing the live shows, joebusiness.com. What else is on there? Oh, the autographed prints. And I should be able to send Rich and Mark their prints this week because Max got them to me. They arrived yesterday, Saturday, and I just have to repackage them and send them out before I leave on the plane this week and blah, blah, blah. So they should be getting to you soon, guys. I appreciate your patience. So autographed prints are available for sale there on the website, and as well as the download sets. Year 1, Year 2, Year 3, and Year 4 are available individually, or you can get them as the Podcast of the Caribbean set. Grab those. You will love them. I know this to be true. And I said last week, if you buy them, I will stop talking, and then you will listen to them and I catch up. Well, our friend Jason did just that. Jason bought Year 1 and then wrote me on Facebook and said, hey, I understand you're going to wait for me to catch up, so that's good news. And I wrote him back, and I said, well, you've had them now for 3 days. I will assume you've listened to all of them. Because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you buy it and devour it immediately? And I'll bet you could listen to Year 1 in 3 days, right? Because that's 52. It's about 52 hours of audio because some of the shows were shorter, and then once we, it wasn't until the end of the year then we started to go over an hour, and it wasn't until 2 years later and we started to go over fucking forever. And sorry. So I hope Jason is caught up by now because I talked. I wasn't going to, but I had to. Unfortunately, Jason, the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. But I'm glad that you're on board. Thank you for picking that up, and I hope you enjoyed it. And folks, that doesn't mean that you can't enjoy those things. What you need to do is write Jason on Facebook and ask if you can come over and have a listening party. No, actually, I think you should buy them. But you know what? It couldn't hurt if you wanted to call Jason. You want to make friends, reach out and have a 40-year-old boy listening bash in some log cabin somewhere. I don't know why you got to go to the wild to do it. That seems weird to uproot yourself and have to go out into the middle of nowhere just to listen to my show. Although if you are in the wild, listen to the
Really?
head on a swivel out there in the cabin. So that's, I think, Joe Business. I'm in Chicago tomorrow. Buy tickets, folks. Last minute rush is always big. And now I'm going home. I'm still packing. It's just these last few days, this is when it gets rough. You know what I mean? Because I was supposed to go to dinner tonight with friends of the show, our friend Rachel and our friend Aaron. And I went with them a couple of weeks ago. Like I mentioned, we wound up going to Red O, which is Rick Bayless's Mexican joint here in Los Angeles. And they were very nice to invite me out for Aaron's birthday. And then it turned out that we kind of got along. And then it was like, should we be friends? Like real life friends? That seems weird, right? And it's stupid to think that way because people are people and you just be friends. So why should it be that you would get along so awfully? It makes no sense. Just because I'm, on Podcast Mountain doesn't mean I can't deign to associate with the little people every once in a while. So we were talking, and I actually made the move where I said to them, I'm like, hey, this doesn't have to be like once a year type of thing where we spend $8,000 out at some restaurant because it's Aaron's birthday and you want me to surprise him or say hi to him. I said, I would love to bring Karen, and because you remember you went out with us last year, the four of us went out, and then you were sick this year, so you could not attend. But I said, we would watch a movie and get a pizza with you guys, like Karen and I, if you wanted to hang out. I know it's that weird.
Will you be my friend?
That's what you're doing. You're like asking them out because again, I have no couple friends. We have none. I mean, I got you and Eddie, but you guys are out fucking, pulling rabbits out of a hat. You got no interest in hanging out with me. It's just, why would you be friends with me when you could go out with the Jim Rose Circus? I mean, you have no. You're friends with a blockhead. You're friends with a blockhead. Why would you want to be friends with this blockhead? Why would you hang out with this blockhead? You're friends with an actual blockhead. So Rachel and I, we were getting along fine, and then I was like, I wanted to bring Karen tonight, but they were paying, and I just felt stupid because it was like a party, and so I was like, well, let's kind of hang out, and so I had actually called Rachel to see where they were at the bar. So then Rachel started texting me. She texted me all week, and then she's like, "What are you doing this weekend? Let's hang out." So I was supposed to hang out with them tonight, which is Sunday night, but I've got to do laundry and pack and fix my laptop. Just a million things I got to do because I'm going out of town for a week. Plus, I got to learn some shit. There's some stuff I need. I'm still working on the show, man. I can't just. When I could just go in and talk and just breeze through 3 hours, that's fucking great. But unfortunately, this room that I'm booking in Chicago, they have a show after me. And they've told me, they're like, and it's so funny. I heard what the show is. What a fucking whiff. But good for them. It's what they want to do, and that's fine. Why wouldn't you just rent me the whole night? But whatever, good for you. Boy, they're going to cancel this thing. All I've done is slag those motherfuckers. I've never even met them, for fuck's sake. But I know they're never going to listen to this. They don't even know the fuck I am. So, anyway, the point is I was supposed to go out with them, but I had to cancel it for tonight. Because I was going to go watch movies with them. And I've watched movies all week because we've been getting the screeners from SAG. And I watched Les Miserables this week. Jesus Christ. Are you kidding me? I don't even... it's funny. I saw it in my house. I was going to see it in the theater, and then they said they were sending the screener, so we held off. And I'm torn, all right? Because part of me wishes that I would have seen it in the theater because it is a large spectacle. It is great in scope. And then there's just... singing, and it is a production. It is a fucking production. But I am so glad I didn't see it in the theater because I don't know the last time I cried this much in a day, in an hour, 2 hour, 3 hour period. Holy God. I actually cried so much that near the end of the movie, a deer burst into my house and started licking my face. I mean, it was just... Oh my Christ. I was a husk. I was like all bent down. Look, Anne Hathaway is Anne Hathaway, and she's got a fucking amazing ass, and she looked great in the Catwoman outfit, and she's totally sexy looking, but she is annoying as fuck. Like when you see her on award shows or any sort of sit down talk show, she's a theater girl who grew up and she's lived in that existence her entire life. So she's very annoying and comes off as really phony. Like one of those people who's, she's got ambition, but she thinks she needs to hide it because people won't like it. And she's acting all the time because she thinks she's acting the way that she should act when in reality she should just be herself, and if you're a fucking cunt, be one. That's fine. But she comes off as phony and weird. But I'll tell you what, watch Les Miserables. Watch it, because for 4.5 minutes you will not want to hug anyone more on the planet than you'll want to hug Anne Hathaway. This scene ended and I'm sitting there and I'm fucking devastated and Karen's devastated, and I paused it. And there's another thing, I didn't like watching it at home because you can stop it and you can do things. I don't like doing that. I like being in a theater and watching a movie all the way through. Watching it at home is convenient, I guess, but I don't like having the ability to get up and walk around and get a soda. Fuck you. Watch the movie, man. Pay attention to the art. Don't get up and pause it and go get a fucking soda. And don't do that. But unfortunately, I was home and I afforded myself the opportunity to be able to do that. And I'm sobbing and then you sob a bunch of times. And she's in the movie just a very short period of time, but the whole time she's there, it's nonstop misery and you're crying and you feel so awful for her. It's terrible. But I will say this, if you see the movie, there's a part, all right, listen, I liked it. All right. But about the 2 hour mark, all of a sudden it veers off. And at the end of the movie, you see why they did, and it makes sense in full context. But when it starts happening and they start paying attention to this other storyline, you go, I don't fucking get this. This was a great story about a guy on the run, an obsession, and lost love, and all of those things. And all of a sudden, the whiffin' poofs show up and start a war. It's like, why the fuck? I mean, everything was great until all of a sudden these 5 blonde guys decide they're going to fight the government of France. And you're like, I don't get this. Why the fuck do I care about a glee club starting a fight? It makes no sense. At the end it does, but when it's happening, it doesn't. And then, Jean Valjean, he's on the run, and you're able to put yourself in his position. I mean, he's released, he's in prison for 19 years, and then he gets out, and then he hides, and he changes his name, and you think about the misery he's had his entire life. And there's so many rich metaphors there. It's a metaphor for being gay. It's a metaphor for everything, because he's had to always hide who he was his entire life while still trying to raise this child and create a life for himself out of what he has left. And he winds up to aspire to different things, and he makes things happen. And then there's Javert, who's chasing him and then stumbles upon him later, and then he finds out who he is. And I should say this, Hugh Jackman is amazing in it, and he should win the Oscar. He's Jean Valjean. He completely changes who he is, and he has to change his life, and he's underground. All right, now he was in prison for 20 years. He gets out, he changes his name, but every time he does something, someone in the street recognizes that he's Jean Valjean. It's like, wait a minute, 20 years have gone by since you knew him, and 9 years before Javert saw him, and then he lifts a fucking wagon up, and Javert goes, hey, I think I know you. Wait a minute, wait a second. It's been 10 years since you saw this fucking guy. And then later on, Jackman shows up, and there's fucking Borat in the street, and Borat's like, wait a minute, I know you, but... Everyone recognizes Hugh Jackman at the drop of a hat. He's been on the run, hiding, changing his name, his appearance for fucking 20 years. But Javert, the most famous lawman in France, perhaps the most recognizable government entity in the country, is able to put on a cap and go unrecognized to join the Whiff and Poof resistance. Come on! He puts on like a jaunty cap and he goes in and everybody's like, oh, who's this new guy? Let's trust him with everything. Until he's outed by Jimmy from HR Puffin Stuff. You've got to see the movie. There's this little kid and he's acting so much like Jimmy from HR Puffin Stuff. He's like, oh, I'm a mechanical boy. He's got this heavy accent and he sings and when he recognizes Javert, it's this great part. I'm giving things away. Spoilers. But it's this story's been around since 1711. If you don't know it by now, what can I do for you? And it's great. I enjoyed it. Like I said, it all makes sense at the end. And I think Tom Hooper, the director, just sat around. He watched Sweeney Todd, the movie, and went, "Give me that guy, and give me that guy, and give me that guy, and give me that guy." And then Johnny Depp walked in. He goes, "I do not want that guy. We already got a guy who can't sing. We don't need two of them. All right, it's fine." And I say that full well knowing that I love Johnny Depp and I love his voice, even though he can't sing. I love guys who can't sing. You know what I love? Rick Moranis in Little Shop of Horrors. I love it. Even though anybody who can't sing or attempts to sing, for some reason I like it. I fall for it. That's me. Because I have a tone. Because you know why? Because I talk quickly and I don't fucking think. That's why. I think that's what it means when you have a tone. Is you don't fucking bother to care what comes flying out of your goddamn mouth. I try to grow the show and I want people to get on board and they're like, I listen to it and you talk too fast. Really, I talk too fast. How the hell else am I supposed to cram all of this into a small 3-hour window? Dude, there's no script. I just go with this shit on the fly. It makes me laugh. If it doesn't make you laugh, turn the fucking station. And by turn the station, I mean turn the wheel of your car right into a guardrail. Jesus fuck. Hey, where you going, boy, 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 boy?